Oh, hello, well met, humble friends. Welcome to Humblewood Yonderbound. I'm Derek Sword. I'm your GM for this game. You see him pronouns. I am joined, as always, by these very lovely individuals who I'm going to have introduce themselves and say more about themselves and their characters here momentarily. Before all of that, I do want to say that this is a Sword and Key game, and you can find all of Sword and Key stuff in one neat, nice place at beacons.ai/Sword and Key, including, among all things, a couple of important things and topical things to this game as I look around for my props. And hey, there. Like our affiliate ship with Humblewood or Hit Boy Press, who make Humblewood, like Humblewood Tales. And then there's the original Humblewood as well, and then of course the Griffin Saddleback books, which I pulled some magic items from recently that I gave my players. So it's Griffin Saddleback 2, which is where some of our recent magic items came from. So some great stuff. And you can find our link again, beacons.ai/Sword and Key. It is a custom link. So if you are looking to get some cool stuff for your campaign, and the first Griffin Saddleback book has a lot of items, really cool stuff like that. The second one has character classes, it has stat blocks, it has a lot of really cool stuff to add to your adventure, as well as those magic items too. So check out our custom link. Do yourself a favor and help us out along the way, maybe. Because Hit Point Press has been really chill about us finding a weird backdoor that shouldn't have existed into becoming an affiliate, and then said you don't have to leave, you can stay at our really cool party. And so I really want to celebrate them for that. You can also find links to our philanthropic endeavors. That's a word I stumble over every time. I should just say charities. But like Fauna and Flora International, which these players have been wonderful enough in lieu of any sort of financial compensation to spend their time raising money for Fauna and Flora International. It's a great organization that works all around the world, based in the UK, but works in every biome you can imagine to preserve, protect, and better gain access for human encroachment. Better allow for that mesh to mesh and not overlap as human encroachment can tend to do without assistance. So yeah, if you like animals, if you like nature, if you don't, this is a weird game for you to join. But especially like pangolins, they got a lot of pangolin stuff. Check out their shop; they got some really cool merch. We've done some giveaways for them before, and that's been awesome. They've been an awesome partner. But please consider donating, and if you do donate, you can actually impact this game. You can give crits and advantages and even complications, really spice things up. All that said, there's plenty of other things that are on our beacons. Check it out. I'm not going to talk about the rest of them because they're not as topical until the very end of our stream. But give it a shot. Do yourself a favor. Find some discount codes. Find some charities. Find some other stuff you might like. Amongst all things, please consider joining our Discord and being a member of the Sword and Key community. We'd love to have you around. All that said, I'm going to go around and love these lovely people say more about themselves. So Shadow, if you don't mind starting us out.
Everybody, I'm Shadow. I use she, her pronouns. You find me everywhere relevant at Shadow Sylvia, and I play Clarence, who uses they, he pronouns, who is a Lupu, College of the Undead Road Bardlock.
Fantastic. Next up, we would typically have Liz. Liz is out for this week, but Betty remains all the same. I didn't realize that we had a fish icon for Betty that's works incredibly well, weirdly enough. Betty is our river folk, essentially a halter dam, although that's no longer a thing, as Humblewood has kind of revamped what otter folk actually are, and I guess she's more of like a it's not a badger, they're like muskrat sort of people. I can't remember the name of them off the top of my head right now, but yes, she is a Tempest barbarian, and Liz at least is in chat, so she's wonderful. Check out her socials. Next up, we have Queon.
Hello, everybody. I am Queon. I go by Brother Queon across all of the internets. I use they, he pronouns, and I will be playing Soren Dryspell, this lovely little circle of sand druid who nothing wrong ever happens to him. And Derek, I told you, he is just very, very unlucky.
That's nothing bad happens to him, but he's unlucky is a wonderful dichotomy that I think describes a lot of D&D characters. So I appreciate the irony that is soon to befall him. Um, thank you, Ken. Next up, we have Anniek.
Hi, my name is Anniek. I go by she, they pronouns, and I get to play Mochi, who goes by she, her pronouns, and who is just an adorable little Maypac raccoon trickery cleric / cult leader, question mark. It's gotten complicated. It's gotten a little messy. Hath is still down with me. That's what matters.
Yeah, Hath has confirmed your cultiosity, your cultitude.
Yes, exactly. Yes. Which,
Exactly.
of course, leads us to the question, what is a cult? You know, we have to dig deeper.
Well, we don't, but
3 more sessions.
last but not least, we have Christian.
Hey everybody, hi, my name is Christian, aka Fluffy Goomba all over the internets. I am an award-winning TTRPG performer, educator, and event coordinator here in the space, and today I will be playing Argus Ironclaw, Swift, Strig, Scofflaw, Fighter, King of the Crest Mountains, Slayer of Pirate Kings, and lover of wives.
Wonderful title. I feel like that's what Daenerys was always missing, was just like breaker of chains, Stormborn, I love my husband. Like that's absolute wife guy.
Yes.
That's fantastic. Well, to jump back into Humblewood, I should have asked this of my players, as I always forget to do. Does anybody like to do the recap so everybody gets to see your faces live?
I did it last week.
You sure did.
I can do it. It's got to be great, but I can do it.
I wasn't here.
Oh, you sure weren't. It's
You
always an
should've watched the
option.
recap.
It's never
Bring it on.
never
Bring it on.
required.
Okay, so last week we open middle of battle. Argus face to face with the Pirate King. This is Mochi doing it like at night around the campfire. Me and Clarence face to face, back to back. I don't know how that works, but it worked. Make a little communication. We fight. We cast light spells. No! Clarence goes down. Oh, on the floor, dying, bleeding. But bring Clarence back up with the magic of Hath. Once again, eye contact, best friends. Teleport to the cannon, and we are now a cannon crew. You can bank on that. Figure out how the cannon works. Pew, shoot. Soren? Who knows? Betty. Smashing people left and right with a big fucking weapon off her. Fucking amazing. Mochi learned how to swear last week. Argus holding his own, knocking people's heads off. Sometimes literally. In the end, though, best part, for skipping to the end, because that was the best part. Argus, pow, on the Pirate King, grabs him, uses him as a hand puppet, wants to go save his wife. Wife already saved. Walks out of the room that she's being held in, chains on her arms, but it was a ruse. She was broken free by someone I won't name because fuck her, I need my coin back. Epic moment, touching, loving. Everybody looked away. It was kind of gross. Turns out we now have a ship, some loot, other than the Pirate King, and a lot of pirates. At least none of us died for real. Yeah, so we don't still know where Soren is, because we were like, loot, stuff, is Soren sand? And it turns out he wasn't sand. And then while people were looting, and I did some sneaking around at night, because you gotta keep in practice, tried sending to Soren, and it turns out that Soren and Sobe tried to do things on their own. Rookie move, don't leave your party. That's how you end up being chased by Yetis and stuff. You just ask Clarence, it's not good. And yeah, so we have a ship, we have some magic stuff, and we have to go save Soren. And potentially Sobe. I don't know if we're saving her. TBD. So yeah, fun week.
Fantastic. That had the vibes of C-3PO telling the Ewoks like about the rebellion with the sound effects. Yeah, please enjoy that point of inspiration. That was great.
Thank you.
Okay, so yes, the party indeed defeated a town full of pirates, cannons loaded, pretty tough fight, all things told, but succeeded nonetheless. Argus saving his wife, giving her a ship. Pretty good deal, all things told. As well as the party looted the ship, finding a number of precious items, some magical items that likely had been looted by the pirates on their pirating journey, as well as some items that might have even belonged to the pirates themselves. I'm not going to say exactly what those items are, as I'll let them kind of reveal as they're being used or not used. But nevertheless, a sending did come through from Sobi, essentially saying, yes, we messed up. We need your help. Please come now. And as the party runs from Wayfair and makes their way to into the jungle, into the dense jungle, perhaps for the first time, because you have officially left civilization. You have officially made your way into, I'm not going to say bush again, into the jungle itself. The paths are no longer well trodden. These are game trails, if anything, and they do tend to weave and wind. So I'm curious for my party here. What is the immediate plan as that sending comes through?
Grab the magic items, put it in a heavy bag for Argus to carry, and identify as we go.
Okay.
We slept,
All right.
right? Everyone had a good
Yeah,
8-hour
we
nap.
slept. We have that
We slept.
guide. The little.
Yeah, we have what's his
You do-
face?
What's
You
his
have-
face?
You have Kaio. Kaio,
That's
you
the
do have
one.
you have Kaio Attilia,
Oh,
who's
yeah.
ready to
Dibs
guide
on
you all.
not telling Soren he got replaced in like 8 hours time.
Y'all
and
replace me with a Kyle? Please.
technically
Not Kyle,
well,
Kaio, to be fair.
Kaio.
But that would be that. Listen,
Ew,
I try to be
not
an ally as
Kyle.
much as possible. I'm not going to replace a person of color with a Kyle, okay?
Okay, we don't like Kyle. Okay, ew.
I was gonna say we tried to keep it like just a straight swap because we did find like the only other Tilia around.
Take that, all Kyles of the world.
Yeah,
Fuck
you
you,
heard
Kyle.
me.
You heard us.
Yeah, it's on the same level as chat.
Oh, and
You know what you did.
Before we leave, though, I want to point out to Argus that Mr. Scruff is a mutinous asshole, and he should be real happy that Mr. Barkley Sweat is just straight up amazing first mate, and he should put him in charge of people. I did not eavesdrop; they were talking very loudly.
So as you begin running through the jungle,
Yeah.
Mochi, listen, this guy, real shitbird. Wouldn't like, don't know, not an actual bird though, but like
Well,
he's
exactly,
a head.
not a bird.
Not a bird.
Not a bird.
What were they again?
Huh? What?
What were they again?
One was
Mr.
a hedgehog.
Scruff, yeah,
Is
is
it a
a
head-
is a
is there a
hedgehog.
hedge?
Mhm.
Mm.
And Mr. Barkley said was. I honestly can't read my own handwriting.
That's okay. I described him
I tried
as
to
a
write it
like
down.
coyote-like Vulpin.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes.
Oh my god, is that supposed to say coyote?
Yikes.
All right, so we're gonna put that away. Whew, that does not look like the word coyote.
Okay, well, you all are navigating the jungle pretty quickly. So I'm wondering, I swear to God, Cat, if you unplug my internet, I'm going to throw you out the window. Okay.
Put him in a cage with a bird.
My desk is so much more exposed to the cats now, and they are just they're threatening me. See it like her foot literally standing on the Ethernet cord. Let's
I
go
have a
ahead
dog
and
asleep on the power plug, so if I'm suddenly
Amazing.
gone, the dog rolled over on the power plug.
let's go ahead and do survival checks with disadvantage as you go to navigate
Ugh.
towards Soren, unless anyone would like to use any spells that would otherwise enhance your travels.
Even
Yeah,
with a guide,
yeah, Argus.
even with a guide, we have this advantage.
With a guide, you're trying to. You're not just trying to find your way through the jungle to where you're going. You're trying to find your way to Soren, which involves also like tracking somebody who was already kind of like being secret about getting away. Nevertheless, it's still raining. There's still mud. You can still
Yeah.
probably see like, hey, these aren't giant predator feet, these are little tilia feet, and hey, there's 2 sets of them. Like, this is the way they went. They also did say that they're going to the river. It's just getting through dense jungle and finding your way exactly there.
Well, I'm gonna use an advantage to offset the disadvantage then.
Okay.
So then
Oh, we're at disadvantage. Okay, that changes.
that was a disadvantage, right? So
I
Yes.
think he might be too far away, but Mochi wouldn't know, so we're gonna cast Locate Creature, see if we get like a faint sensation at least.
Yeah, what's the range on Locate Creature?
1,000 feet.
1,000 feet's a bit much. I will say this: if you want to upcast it, I will add a 0 to that.
I will upcast it.
Okay. So using additional spell slot, it's still 1,000 feet. I didn't say where I was putting the 0. I put it at the front. I'm just
That's
kidding.
okay.
No, 10,000 feet.
I
So
appreciate that.
I think as you are like moving through the jungle like frantically, and Mochi, kind of summoned its thing on the run, you are able to like just ping Soren at like the far edge, and you're able to determine that yes, there's bends in the river. Do you have a flavor for how this works?
I think rather than a feeling or a sensation, how sometimes even though it's a day, you can still. No, it's a super dense jungle. I think I like through the canopy, I would be able to catch like a glimpse of a particular star.
For sure. Absolutely. And it's almost like you can see from that star's perspective, and like you see this kind of winding through the jungle as you pinpoint this clearing, almost this break in the trees where you like a little beam like illuminates. I'm kind of thinking like Assassin's Creed Odyssey. You have like the fucking
Yeah.
bird that flies over. And so now it's almost like you're getting these Skyrim-esque arrows that are kind of like pointing which way you're supposed to go. So, as you all are running through the jungle, anything else that you wanted to prep before I get to Soren and essentially what he is seeing at this point?
A practical question: are we, like, is Betty with us?
I am going to say, for the sake of Liz, Betty had to hang back a little bit. Maybe like, hey, we really need help for your otter friend, and like,
Yeah. Perfect.
repairs in town, and you all got that sending. It was like, well, she's literally lifting a house right now. We don't have time to get her.
I think then for the first time ever, I didn't cast Death Ward on Betty. This is-
Okay.
well,
yeah,
I rolled a
she'll be
22
good.
on the survival check if that matters though.
Fantastic. Yeah. Then especially coupled with Mochi, then I'll actually give you that advantage back. Because Mochi used the spell, then I think that counts as an advantage. Edelin, I swear to God, please don't.
Just the panic, the sheer like
I'm begging you.
God, please.
I'm begging you, you little
God, please.
sweet muffin. Okay.
Just want to point out, IKEA has like covers for this sort of stuff. Like you can put everything in like a little-
Trust me, that this is not a permanent situation. You absolute menace. Okay, Soren. Sobi found you not that long ago. She basically like grabbed your arm out of the brush. It was maybe like a little peep before she was able to put a little gecko hand over your mouth and pull you into like some the dense leaves, the dense foliage. She's essentially conveyed to you that while your friends are great, you're needed. You're needed back with your people. And the two of you have been traveling for some time, skirting out of the way of Wayfair, using those game trails and using the natural world that you've lived in for your almost your entire life now, to make your way much quicker than anyone else would have. And as you all are moving through, I need a dexterity saving throw from you.
Of course you do. Of course you do.
Would be D&D with that one.
Like, welcome back. Roll a save.
Actually, I'm so
That's a-
sorry. It is a strength saving throw. I'm sorry.
Oh, praise God.
Even
Because that
better.
was a 7.
Okay.
Hold on. Wait. I gotta reroll.
Okay.
6.
Okay, I'm glad we rolled. Running through, you get to this break where like the mud is thicker in this place. The rain is still kind of just absolutely just battering down, and you starting to see this change in force. You've noticed it a little bit already. I think we mentioned before how the forest is not as green as it used to be. In fact, like almost because of the rain, you missed it at first, but in a way that like when spinach is in the fridge for too long, to give context for that, and it starts to become like wet and like kind of sticky, and that decay that happens, that you're starting to notice that in parts of the forest. You walk past a tree and the leaf kind of like disintegrates onto you, like it goops onto you. And even as you're like looking at some of the bark on some of these trees, it peels away like just a thin exterior layer, like paint that's long since dried,
Ugh.
and is just aged now to the point where it's flaking off. And as you're passing through, you notice these like big gnarly roots in this area, and your foot catches on one of them. And as it does, you notice that the root has not only like tripped you, it's wrapped around your leg. And you follow this root up to a massive, gnarled, rotting tree that is now moving also towards you. It uproots itself almost like feet, like some sort of like strange spiderous insect, and is lumbering towards you. So that's the situation you're in. Sobi, as you look ahead, has also been grappled by another tree, as you see a second one of similar size going after her. And then, to top it all off, these are both huge size. There is a gargantuan tree. Almost, you can almost see like a cruel face like breaking out of the bark in like different splintering parts as it seems to pull itself up as well. Perhaps the leader of the other two, if you were going to assign a hierarchy to them. For the sake of mechanics, you are, let's see, you are being pulled towards this tree. You are grappled, and you don't take any damage on this turn, but we are essentially going to have the party running towards you. We are going to have one turn action of surprise, and then the party will join in from there. So I'm going to move you all onto this map here. And apologize, folks can't see the map. It's kind of a jungle area. It's just kind of like an open, muddy jungle spot. And then there's three nasty looking tree monsters. So, Soren, if you would like to place yourself within about 15 feet of either of those smaller trees, and then the rest of the party, you can place yourselves towards the southern area there.
I think he'll be right there.
And once you have done that, we can roll for initiative.
Would we? Yeah, I think I'd be that far away from her. Yeah. If anybody could hear this, as Soren is like tripped up, he's just like, so I told you this was a bad idea. But why am I the voice of reason?
She's just looking back at you, and she's like, "Is this really the time?
We got nothing better to do.
Well, try not to die then.
If I die, it's your fault.
No one's gonna know."
The stars will know.
Oh,
Cool.
siblings.
Yeah. Okay. Let's bring the stars into this.
That was great.
I got an 11.
Okay. Where's my chat? There we go. Okay. So, yeah. Anybody 20 or above?
Dirty 20. So.
Fantastic.
22! 22! I did it!
Okay. So Clarence, then Argus. Okay. What about 15 to 19?
19.
19. Fantastic.
Good job, everybody.
I once again would like to thank my Sentinel Shield that gives me advantage on these checks, because otherwise I would have been last perpetually.
And that's everybody. Cool. So then we've got with the. Oh. Okay, so Soren, it is your turn. You are grappled, but that still means like you just can't move really, but you can still attack. You can still do plenty of other stuff. And I will basically have Sobi go after your turn. But you are grappled by this rotting necrotic-esque tree. It is a plant nonetheless. Um, yeah, what would you like to do?
Give me 2 seconds. I'm checking my spell list right now just
For
because
sure.
The panic spell, let's check. Let's check.
it's like
Don't you like talk to trees or become to trees or
I'm gonna say just because
Why
you
you
have
got so
druidic.
feel the trees?
Yeah, so just because you have druidic, I will remind you of this because this is one of those things that like druidic thieves can't doesn't always come up. Um, you know that like mobile trees, sentient trees, often can understand common and even druidic. They most trees understand druidic. Most of them can't speak, but most of them can at least understand you.
I don't think
Start-
what
Try
are they
reasoning
saying?
with the trees.
What are they saying?
The trees,
Um,
they're not saying anything. It's just kind of like this groaning, like
They're just being
creaking wood.
jerks.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
um okay.
Look, man, nice hat. They're just like bullying you. I don't know.
Oh, okay, cool. Seeing Sword is like, first of all, the time for diplomacy is not now because one, his sister's here and he's gotta like act like he's something special right now. So with that being said, I would like to upcast Blight
Okay.
to the 5th level.
Okay.
Um,
Let's see. Yeah, go ahead and tell me what that does.
okay. This is mean. A creature that you can see within range makes a Constitution saving throw, taking 8d8 necrotic damage. But because it is above, it'll be 9d8. A plant creature automatically fails to save.
Jesus.
Okay. Well, that's what they are. Go ahead and roll that damage.
So what Sobe sees is like Soren's skin goes like completely like Icarus and black. And he is the blight at this point.
Incredible. Incredible.
Excuse
Okay.
me. I'm rolling bones now. It's a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage. That's 55 points of damage.
Great. Fantastic. Yes, you watch as this like almost the antithesis of growth, right? Blight is that rotting necrosis. It's the illness of plants themselves. And even though this plant does seem to be rather ill, rather, not doing its best in life, it is definitely susceptible to blight. So I'm sorry, one more time the damage.
55 points of damage.
55. Okay.
Jesus.
And
mad.
as the like you even it's holding you by this root, so it's like you kind of channel it through the root system, and like absorbing water, it absorbs this plague. And you watch as like bark is just stripping from this thing, branches are falling off. It kind of like leans back slightly and is like uneasy on its feet as you have done a hell of a lot of damage to this thing in just one hit.
You should have
Um,
let me go. And as a bonus action, I am going to take my sand form. And because of the blight, it just looks like black sand is just whirling around at this point.
Fantastic. Does your sand form make it hard to grapple you or anything?
I don't think if I'm already grappled though, but I will double check.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, let me know. Otherwise, we go to Sobi's turn. I've given the Archdruid stat block to Sobi. Or I'm sorry, it's a Druid of the Old Ways, which comes from the Ravnica book, which was pretty equivalent. So
She should have
let's.
known.
I am going to have Sobi. Does she have Blight? She does not, but she does have. Let's see, target's movement. This is. She is going to cast Freedom of Movement on herself, and slip out of the grapple, and kind of start making her way towards you. Let's see. I think that's her action. Yeah, I don't think she necessarily has anything else. So, she is her own willing creature. And yeah, so she's going to use 5 movement or 5 feet of movement to pull herself out of the restraints, and then she is going to try to clear herself over to about, was that 5, 10, 15, 20, about right there, to try to get a little better vantage point towards you. That'll be it for her turn. It is now the trees' turns. So let's take a look here. For our tree blights, the smaller trees, Soren, you are going to, because you are still grappled, you're going to take bludgeoning damage from this. So that is going to be, oh, that's pretty low actually. So 9 points of bludgeoning damage.
So I
And
don't get anything to get out of this, but I do take
yes.
half damage on bludgeoning, piercing, or slashing.
Fantastic. Okay. So with 9, we can just say 4 points of bludgeoning damage. And then it is going to use 2 branch attacks as it goes to reel you in and move even closer to you. So
Let
it
me
is.
go.
Yeah, it is. If it can hear you, it doesn't seem realistic. So these are going to be both +9. That is an 18, and that is a 14.
18
Do
hits.
18 hits. Okay, so that is going to be 3d6. Okay, so 11, 13, 19 points of bludgeoning damage. So again, halved. We'll say 9 for, or yeah, because we'll say 9. Why not? Cool. That is it for the first one. The second one is, what is their speed? 30 feet. It is going to move towards Sobi here, as it has lost its prey, but can't really grasping root her again. Let's see here. It does, however, see all of you down there at the bottom, so I'm going to have it dash. So whereas you're not really used to seeing trees move, especially in the Humblewood, they're pretty stationary things. This is a tree that is up on like arched kind of insectoid root-like legs that is running at you, which I have to imagine is a pretty unpleasant thing to see. So we'll put them about right there. I think it's about 60 feet. And then this last one, this Wraith Root tree, is going to, let's see, is that, let's see, I think it is going to fling a rock at all of you. Or do we have all the icons on the map yet? See, Mochi and Clarence.
Listen, I guess.
Hold on.
Just
My
assume
roll 20
Argus
being
is
funny.
there with us so he can
You're
like
totally
get hit as
You're
well.
totally fine.
Why is
Yeah,
my
I'm trying
roll
to see.
20
I'm trying to see.
being- I have to reload my root 20 real quick.
You're totally fine. Since I see Clarence and Mochi, it is going to hurl 2 rocks at the 2 of you. You see these roots kind of pull up these stones from beneath, and almost like a natural trebuchet, kind of leans its large tree body forward as it launches these stones, like almost like a scorpion tail behind it at the 2
Sure.
of you. It is a +11 to hit. So that is a 15 towards
Lord.
Clarence and a 15 towards Mochi. Roll to 4
Oh
on both.
no!
Doesn't hit.
Hey, doesn't
Okay.
hit.
Hey, it
Hey.
doesn't hit.
So 2 stones just kind of like thump into the ground, very like Return of the King with like the Gothmog character just kind of like stands to the side. This like massive boulder
Yeah.
just absolutely crushes into the mud, splashes a little bit of mud on the 2 of you.
Clarence and
But
Mochi like cartwheel towards each other to dodge.
yes, yeah, you do
Exactly.
like, and then
Cinematic.
you like touch your fingertips together and you hybrid or whatever it's called in Dragon Ball Z. Okay, so that's it for the Wraithroot tree. It is going to start moving forward as well, uprooting itself with this like thundering crunch out of the ground as it also lumbers forward. that is it for its turn. We're out of the surprise round, so we'll start from the very beginning. It's a very good place to start. Clarence, it is your turn.
Okay, so here's what I think happens. I think Clarence is like so on top of their game right now. It's like, yes, I got this. This is like our 20th combat. Like I understand how combat works. And Clarence starts like whistling the beginning of the Dimension Door song as Clarence holds out a hand to Argus. If Argus would like to come in the Dimension Door.
Oh, Argus will take it. Seeing
Okay.
what happened last time with the cannons.
What it was what? I don't know.
You're leaving me behind again? Like with the skull?
What? No, you're with the
Wow.
guide.
What a way to guess. You're leaving me? I can't.
You're with my replacement.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kaila, by the
Yeah.
way, not involved in this combat, just kind of hanging
What
back.
is
Like
that combat capability?
he's like, listen, I told you guys that every party I go with dies. This is my curse.
Get it together, Kaio. Nobody's dying today.
Those who
my-
fight and run away live to fight another
Again.
day. There's another Jutilio. You guys will be fine.
This is my curse.
What a coward.
Swear to God, casting whole person on him when it's my turn.
He's not running. He's just like hiding behind one of those massive
He's a
boulders.
city
Like
employee, guys.
boulders are like lightning. They never strike the same place twice.
God.
That sounds deeply inaccurate.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm
God.
gonna move us up here to Soren.
Okay.
And then
Clarence!
Soren. I see you did not make friends with these trees. I thought
They
you could
don't-
talk to trees.
They don't want to make friends.
Oh, well, that seems just really rude of them, honestly. Okay, well,
They
here's
also tried to kill me and my sister.
Argus will get you out. And then Clarence is going to do a bonus action rabbit hop, which allows Clarence to jump a number of feet equal to 5 times their proficiency bonus without provoking opportunity attacks.
Ooh.
Great.
So Clarence, now that I think I was in risk of an opportunity attack or anything, but Clarence is gonna go. Yeah, Clarence is gonna go 20 feet backwards, back towards Mochi,
Okay.
and that's Clarence's turn. So Argus is now next to Soren.
Yeah. boom,
Okay.
do that. Boop, boop. There you go.
Perfect. And that's very appropriate as it is now Argus's turn.
Huzzah! It is my turn, and I get to attack, and I shall attack. As he takes out the hammer, and sees. It's like, I thought trees were your thing. What happened?
They normally are. This one is. It's the big one we have to worry about. What? Why does everybody keep saying that? This is-
Everybody's so like such a blasé jerk about this. Like, oh, I thought you talked to trees, man. It's like people with Aquaman. Like, I thought you talked to fish.
I thought you
I
Yeah.
talked to the Alderheart one time.
It's your
big
thing.
one.
It's your thing, dude. It's your thing.
I thought
Talked
drew
to
its
a
whole.
ship one
I thought drew its
time.
whole thing. You think that like that'd be cool? Like,
I was
you think,
already.
you think you'd have no beef?
I wasn't
Right.
thinking. Okay.
And it's like, don't worry, it happens to the best of us. And he's just gonna swing for the fences.
Go for
towards this thing. 27 to hit.
27 definitely hits. Yes.
11 points of damage.
Okay.
Another 27 to hit. Nice.
Very nice.
For 12 points of damage. And a 1
Okay. Well,
for
the
that. For no
first two
points
were
of
pretty
damage.
good.
For no points of damage.
That's all right. Okay.
Debuting the third attack for fighter.
Yeah, slamming into this thing. This is bludgeoning damage, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that with this tree, with how weakened it's already been with blight and how like rotting it kind of already is, your hammer is like it's almost like slamming an axe into this thing. You're watching just like the wood just splinter apart. You've almost like separated part of the core structure of the timber from it, of this. You're almost stumped this thing. But it is still holding some of its substance. But this is a pretty rough looking tree.
Gotcha.
It was rough looking already, but all the more now. Anything else for your turn?
That is my turn. I'm
Fantastic.
gonna hold on to my resources for a little later.
Yeah. With that, it is Mochi's turn.
Is Soren still grappled? No, right?
Soren is still grappled.
Ow. I mean, then again, is being grappled really that bad in the large scheme of things? He'll be fine.
It's
He
just
talks
a
to
tree
trees.
hug. It's a big
Yeah.
hug.
He loves
It's just a
hugging
tree.
trees. They're his best friends.
Yeah, it's weird when
What
trees
is
hug you
this?
back.
Is the tree that ran towards me, us, whatever, did it already take any damage, or is it an unblemished tree?
So far, the only tree that has taken damage is the one that is grappling Soren.
Yeah, fun. I too want to conserve some resources, and I'm not. Look, let's be real. I may have wisdom in nature and all of that, but Mochi isn't that planty. So we're just gonna sacred flame the tree in front of me. It can make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. Dexterity saving throw has a +0 to its dex.
Love
And that's
to
only an
hear
8.
it. Beautiful. It's gonna take 3d8 damage plus my wisdom modifier.
Okay.
Once again, I know I have more d8s than it. There it is. Very mediocre roll. What's my modifier again? I was wise. There we go. That makes it 10, 15, 16 points of fire damage. I know it's probably
we're
all
going to-
juicy and stuff, but
We're going to double that and make that, was that 32?
yep.
32 points of fire damage. Fantastic.
Good. Yeah, they're too far away, and I don't feel like using my dimension door. But I'm gonna move. We're just gonna strafe a little. 30? I can do 30. Yeah, we'll just go this way. There we go.
Cool.
Yep.
With that, then we are to. We're back to Soren. So Soren, you remain grappled. You are in your sand form. Argus has joined you, and the tree that is holding you has taken quite a bit of damage. You can kind of tell that, like, you can even feel in the root system, like almost like snake-like, it's wrapped around you. Like if there were muscles to it, they would be weakening. The grip is loosening on this thing.
Soren is going to like shove his hands into the root, and I am casting Burning Hands.
Yes, absolutely. What's the save on that?
Let me pull it up. Hold on. Give me 2 seconds. Actually, it's 16.
Okay, 16 dexterity, or is it
It's Dex.
dex? Okay, yeah, probably not making this one. No, that's a 5. Yes.
Love that for me. Excuse my. It's 3d6. Hold on. Yes. So that's 7 points of fire damage.
Okay, so we'll make that 14. And looking pretty rough now. Like you're seeing as some of the root-like legs are kind of like twitching and collapsing down. This thing is like kind of leaning off to its side a little bit. It's still trying to hold itself up, but the whatever is mobilizing this thing, motivating this thing, is seems to be seeping from it, sapping from it even.
The puns.
I know. I'm so sorry.
Are you really? Are you truly sorry?
No, you're not.
I am after the fact. It's more like in a reaction sort of thing. It's like yeah. It feels like Tourette's.
Yeah, ask for permission, not forget.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
And for my bonus action,
Please.
Soren is going to flick his tail towards the towards this giant, unnerving tree. And I'm going to hit it with my abrasive blast.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna burn one of my crits here.
Yeah, go for it.
I'm annoyed. So that's 8, 16, 20, and then roll it again. 31 points of damage.
31. What type of damage?
Slashing.
Slash. Perfect. Okay. Wonderful. With that, is there anything else for your turn?
That is it.
Great. Okay. Let's do that. Okay. Then we are to Sobi's turn. And Sobi, especially having seen the success of your fire spells, I think is going to probably lean towards that as well. It's not exactly what your people necessarily train with, being more associated with stone and sand and the ground. But you know, old druids have a connection to fire one way or another. So let's see. She is going to pull out a like leaf-shaped sword. Almost if you think of like the Hobbit sting is supposedly a leaf-shaped blade. Hers a little maybe a little more leafy. But she is going to cast Flame Blade and watch as it ignites in like this green flame. And with that, she is going to go charging at the tree that is holding you. I think she's within range of it. If not, she's going to go for the big one. Yeah, I think she's going to have to go for the big one. I think that's just within range. So yeah, you're just out of range. So she is going to go running for the big one. And she is going to take her attack on that. So let's see, Sobi, what can you do here? 10 plus spells level, and this is... Okay. Cool. Sobi rolled a nat 20. So Sobi's going to do double damage on that. I'm kind of mad I used the nat 20 against myself. So that's going to be... I'm actually going to make this 66 fire damage. I'm going to double damage... Or I'm going to double my dice, not my damage. And let's see what that adds up to. So Sobi does, and we're going to double that because it's fire damage, 42 points of fire damage on this thing. And with that, that is it for her turn. It is going to be the tree's turns. Just want to calculate this real quick because I don't do mental math. I have to do that at work all the time. There we go. Okay, so tree's turns. For the smaller tree that is still grappling Soren, you are, let's see, light. You are going to take the 2d6, 2d6 plus 6 bludgeoning damage, so that'll be the halved. So that is 14 bludgeoning damage, so that'll be 7. And then it is also going to use its bonus action to Nash. As you take the damage from Grasping Root, has the bonus action for Nash. So this will be a DC 17 dexterity saving throw for Soren.
$18.
Fantastic. You're just
Let me
gonna
go.
You're just going to take half damage, but it is piercing. Did you say you're resistant to piercing?
I am.
Fantastic. So it'll be
Nice.
half. So 3d8 plus 6, which will be 21. We'll just say 20. So half of that's 10, half of that's 5. So just 5 points of piercing damage. And then we are going to do 1 branch attack to Arcus, 1 branch attack to Soren. And for Argus, that's 19 plus, what is it?
A billion? Like what?
19 plus 9. So, and then for Soren, that is a 14 plus 9. So I believe that hits both of you.
Yeah.
And then it'll be the...
No, it goes so hard it misses me.
That's right. It just hits the ground, shatters the earth.
Shatters the earth, and I'm like, man, I'm glad it didn't hit me.
Yeah. You dodged
So
a
19
bullet.
points, 19 points of bludgeoning damage for Argus, and that is 17 points of bludgeoning damage. So again, halved. What are we talking about?
8.
8. Yeah, 8 points of bludgeoning damage for
You said
Soren
19
there.
points for me?
Correct.
Okay.
And that is it for the tree blights. Now the wraith root. Let's position my wraith root here. Let's
Don't
see.
you hurt my sister.
Mochi's hanging back, but let's see what's distance here. I
Being
think
tactical, not cowardly. I just want to put that out there.
No, absolutely, absolutely. That is not a critique. Teak. So, sorry. This thing is going to use its Wraith Storm ability. It is going to drive its root-like legs deep into the ground, almost like stomping each and every one of them into the ground. And you start to see these channel lines, almost like these subterranean vines of like the sickening green light emanating out of the ground, and all of them seemingly leading towards all of you. It is going to pull life energy from the area around it. It leaves creatures temporarily frail is the flavor text for this. So each creature that is not a construct or undead within 30 feet of the tree has to do a DC 16 Constitution saving throw. And that counts for the other trees as well. So I will do a saving throw for them.
Good luck.
Hold on. What was it, bro?
The saving throw is where'd it go? DC 16 Con.
26.
Nice.
Fantastic.
Damn.
I have a +7 to those and advantage, so.
Damn.
18.
Okay. So Mochi does not have to do this. Were there any fails? I don't think so.
If I had to roll, is dirty 20.
Okay. Then yeah, you all succeed. So it's almost like, you're able to step out of the way of this thing as you watch like the plants, the little grass beneath your feet rot away. There's nothing if you succeed. If you had failed, it would have halved your speed and you would have gained vulnerability to bludgeoning damage.
Oh.
But as you all succeeded on that, no deleterious effects of any kind. However, this thing is going to make 3 slam attacks. And so looking here, there's Sobi just hit it. Soren is still grappled, so I think it's going to be Sobi, Argus, and Clarence here. So this is a +11 to hit, so that's
Jesus
a 26 for
Christ.
Clarence. That's a 14 for Argus, and for Sobi, that's a 19 + 11. So, Clarence and Sobi, you are going to take Clarence. Let's see. Clarence is actually pretty low. That's just 12 points of bludgeoning damage. Sobi is not as lucky, so that is, yeah, 17 points of bludgeoning damage for poor Sobi there. But that is it for its turn. And we go back, I believe, to top of the order. Yes. So Clarence, it is your turn once again.
Okay, so the tree that Sobe hit, the gigantic one,
Yes.
is there like a little cinder, smoldering burn portion of it since it was hit with the flame attack?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a like burned slash mark in it from where her flame blade struck.
Okay, cool. So Clarence, having been yet again inspired by some trees throwing shit, is going to upcast catapult.
Okay.
2 levels so that I can yeet something that is 15 pounds. Because I get to add an additional 5 pounds per upcast level.
Yeah, absolutely.
So 15 pound, I'm thinking a tiny boulder, the size of like a large boulder.
Thank you, Shadow. It's one of my favorite memes.
yeah, is just gonna whistle like this little like battle melody as this boulder gets lifted just like straight up out of the ground, and then it just starts flying at top speed towards this burned slash mark in this tree. It does need to do a dexterity saving throw.
Great. Can't imagine it's particularly -1 dex. This is a big tree. So that is a 7.
Definitely fails.
Yeah, say so.
Okay. La 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 la. It so the object strikes it, and then all right. So it starts off. -2, 3, 3d8, and then I get to add an additional d8 for each slot above the first. Okay, so that's 5d8 total.
Great.
Um, 24 bludgeoning damage.
24 bludgeoning damage. Fantastic.
Yes, I'm hoping to exploit that weak spot.
Yeah. Yeah, you watch as like you have like again this like burn slash mark, and you catapult this small boulder, this large boulder the size of a small boulder, right in between. And much like when you're like if you've ever like seen anybody cut down a tree before, like it's important to cut on two sides of the tree and kind of like create a section to kind of support so that it can fall down a certain way, but you know, you don't just want to chop one side of the tree. You've almost created that impact site where the tree begins to kind of lean a little bit into that slash, and you've kind of supported it. So you've lodged this boulder in there, and it's almost splintered deeper within. Wonderful.
And the boulder stays in that tree, right?
Yeah, it is lodged in there. I will say that it is lodged in the tree.
Okay, good. That's important for next turn.
Good to know.
Okay.
That's good for next turn.
That's good to know just for next time. And then Clarence is just gonna probably run towards Mochi. Yeah, we'll meet Mochi on the diagonal here. Mochi!
Clarence! Clarence!
The trees!
I saw the trees.
The trees.
The trees!
I thought Soren could talk to the trees. What is happening here?
Not these trees, apparently. These trees are
They're-
non-talking trees.
Pardon my language. They're dicks.
Noted.
Oh my god. Okay, wait, hold on. Also, wait, I have one more thing. Okay. Clarence is gonna cast a bardic inspiration on Sobe up there.
Great. She looks back. She goes, "Thank you, whoever you are."
Yeah, you're welcome, Sobe. Big fan.
I forgot one of the tree blight's turns, so I'm gonna take that real quick here. But
No, just don't
speaking
worry
of
about
Mochi,
it.
You don't have to.
No,
I don't have to. You're right. I don't have to.
No, it's
Yeah,
fine.
it's been a turn photosynthesizing, okay?
Yeah, it's just relaxing.
I'm going to say this thing moves up towards Mochi, since Mochi is the only one that was left down there. And this thing is going to use its grasping root and branch attacks on Mochi. So pretty apt that Clarence would be running towards her. So Mochi, I will need a strength saving throw, DC 17.
I'm gonna, yeah. Just gotta use one of my advantages.
Okay.
Probably gonna need it. All right, what's my strength again? Passable, but not good enough because I got a 15.
Okay. You are currently grappled, and it did hit with one of its branch attacks. So you also took, what was that? 12 points of bludgeoning damage. And because you were grappled, it's also going to use its Gnash attack on you. So that is going to be
Hang on, bitch.
that 9 plus 6, so 15 points of piercing damage. As the not only are you like does the root like wrap around you, kind of snake around your form, it also like spikes out with these thorns that do pierce you. That
Gross.
is yes, absolutely. That is it for that. I apologize for forgetting that. But we are to Argus's turn now.
Cool. I'm gonna try to. How's the one that we've been fighting looking?
The one you've been fighting is like ready to topple. It depending on how you roll will not survive your turn.
Cool. We will roll to attack then. D&D Beyond. 21 to hit.
Yeah, absolutely.
14 bludgeoning damage.
Okay. Pretty like death's door at this point. If plants would go to heaven, this one's already seeing like the light.
Fantastic. 24 to hit.
Yeah.
10 damage.
Exactly what you needed. Had 10 hit points
Huzzah.
left.
Yeah.
How do you
Huzzah.
fell this tree?
I think he's just been like attacking the. Is this the one that you blighted?
It is.
Yeah.
So he's just been attacking those like really rotten looking pieces to try to dismantle this thing. And every time he like slams into it, he drags it a little bit more to make the opening a little bigger, and then eventually it just can't support its own weight under its mass and just crumples in on itself.
Yeah, it feels like it's a saying, like you shouldn't chop a tree down with a hammer, but you just watch someone do it. So as this maul just slams into all this rotten wood, you hear this creak and this groan, and it slams to the ground. And Soren, you are released from its tendrily grasp. Fantastic.
Fantastic. Then I will move over to this one. Am I flanking technically? With the
I'll give you advantage. I mean, it's pretty big, but yeah, I'll give you advantage on this.
cool D&D Beyond roll. Natural 20.
Very nice.
Get him.
Huzzah. I'm going to also add blindside to this, which is the ability that lets me deal extra damage. Deal an extra 5d6, but since I crit, it's gonna be 10d6. You are truly skilled at exploiting the openings you create in combat, hitting off guard opponents with precise blows that are swift and deadly. On a hit, you exploit an opening in the target's defenses, deal an extra 5d6.
Great. Yeah, we can say that you like see the stone that Clarence is thrown in, and like the hammer just goes to like further just hammer that in, like knocking in an axe or a wood splitter with a maul.
That is total. That is 58 points of damage.
Wonderful.
And that's 3 attacks, and then we're gonna accent surge, baby. You know, we accent surge up in here. 22 to hit.
Yeah, that'll do it.
23 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
That's 11 damage.
Okay.
28 to hit.
Yeah, all three.
Yeah.
And that's 13 damage. As
Okay.
She's just attacking the boulder to just help wedge this thing.
So I heard 3 attacks, but I only heard 2 damages, I think. I heard 11 and 13. Was there a third
and
one?
8. I'm sorry, 8. 8 is
Okay, 11, 13, and 8. So
Yes.
18 plus 13. Okay. Okay. So 31 in total, and yeah, especially because you are exploiting this weakness, I'm going to have you're getting past the bludgeoning damage or the bludgeoning resistance this thing would otherwise have. So pretty good. Okay. Yeah, this tree also now, especially from where it was, is looking pretty weakened. Still, I mean, hardy, all things told, but you've done a significant amount of damage to this thing. You've splintered parts of it. You've broken off some of the limbs. This thing's looking pretty rough. Anything else for your turn?
Also, because of Crusher, any attack rolls against this creature are made with advantage until the start of my next turn.
Fantastic.
And that is going to be my turn.
Right. Mochi, it is your turn. You are grappled, but yeah, nevertheless able to do most other things except for move.
Yeah, so we don't like being grappled because that means they can nash you, which is one of the stupidest words I've heard in my entire life.
Yeah.
So we are going to spend an action, cast freedom of movement on myself, spend 5 feet of movement getting out of the grapple, and then spend my bonus action recovering the spell slot I just spent on freedom of movement.
Great. Yeah, I think Nash is better like gnashing teeth, but just like as like the
The trees have
base
teeth?
verb.
Like human-like teeth?
That would be horrible.
Yeah, but
I
like
hate
in
that.
jars.
Ugh.
Cool.
Ew.
And you
I
guys wanted
suddenly
me to
like them
talk
a
to
lot better.
that.
I suddenly like them better. It's weird.
Mm-mm.
you talk to them. You talk to them. Don't
You
judge
want
them
me to
if they're
talk to that thing?
Try.
No.
Look,
Yeah.
I'm just
yeah,
I'm ungrappleable, which is definitely a word, and it didn't cost me a spell slot because I used my bonus action. I do have the distinct impression I'm going to take an AOO to the face if I try to leave from here, so we're just gonna hang out.
Fair enough. Yeah, of all the jobs that should not exist, I think arbor dentist is one of them. Okay. From there, then it is Soren's turn.
I just pictured their stand at like career day, and it's everything I've ever dreamed of, and I now want to run a horror game where this is a thing.
I'm a special kind of lumberjack.
Yeah, let's pair one of the most dangerous jobs in the world being lumberjack with one of the most, in my personal opinion, grossest doctorates, which is dentist. Let's put those together.
Definitely not the grossest, believe me.
Ugh.
Fair.
Gross.
No. Mm-mm.
Ew. I have a question for you, Derek.
Please.
In the grand scheme of things right now, right?
Yeah.
Can you paint me a word picture of what this forest looks
picture.
like? Like, do we have like rain going on? Is there a canopy
Yeah.
overhead?
You are in a somewhat opening, somewhat clearing from all these trees, and as you're kind of looking around, you're realizing that the reason you're in a clearing of like trees is because you're fighting the trees. There's
Okay.
so much like rot around you that like there's a lot of decay now as you're looking around. It is pouring rain. You have like those magical like storm clouds kind of thundering above. But yeah, it is powdering down. You haven't had any magical like lightning or the ice or the fire or anything like that in a little bit. So there's also in the back of your mind like how much longer until the next one happens, because
Okay.
you can see like the color elemental colors kind of rippling through the clouds. But yes, this is a break in the canopy, which also is like why it's so muddy here as well. But yeah, very wet, very kind of like dim-ish light, not mechanically, but yeah, very very gloomy setting.
Beautiful. Soren is going to grab a hold of Bud, his lovely little staff.
Yeah.
And as he grabs it, everybody next to him, you hear like the sound of firewood crackling. And Bud changes into like a charred wooden version of itself, and it's still got like little flames like licking off of it and everything. So for the one that is messing with Mochi specifically, I am going to cast Fireball.
Ooh, got him.
Okay.
DC 16.
Okay. I think you have enough space where you're not going to hit Mochi or Clarence with this.
Mhm.
So I think you can angle it for
I
that.
didn't
Okay.
ask how large the clearing was. I said
Ask Fireball.
That is the joke. You said dexterity saving throw DC 16.
Yes, please.
It's only a 10.
Love that for me. I'm just gonna go ahead and steal Derek's idea and just double my dice.
Yeah, absolutely. You are always, if you roll a nat 20, you are welcome to double your dice or double your damage. I think there's benefits to both and, cost to both, but
I completely fucked up and realized that was because of a rolling of a nat 20. That's not what I needed to do. Sure. That is 29 points of fire damage. So
29. Okay, so is the 29 already doubled, or does that need?
no, that's just flat.
Okay. It is fire damage, so we are going to double it. So what is that? 58 points of fire damage.
Sound about right.
Oh, Alrighty. Yeah. Fireball just erupts. Clarence, like the little tips of your bunny whiskers are just like slightly singed by this just intense heat that erupts. But you are not damaged, Mochi. The same thing, like you can feel you're close enough to this thing, the root is holding you. You can feel like the blast back. Like Mochi's fur is all just kind of like pushed back. There's a little bit of just like scorch marks that I think are maybe hard to tell on a raccoon. But yeah,
I think they're
fantastic.
hidden by disguise self because I'm still pretending to be a red panda.
That's right.
Let's go.
Yeah. I forgot that, yeah.
Blessings. And as my bonus action, I am just going to yeet an abrasive blast at the closest one, which is the big honking thing right here. Yeet. And you, it's not giving me my number. There. Well, I'll take it. That's a crit on that.
Let's go.
Yeah. I mean, you might as well.
It
You might
wasn't
as
giving me my
well.
number. Like, what the hell? And it still didn't give me the fucking number. There we go. Jesus. That's 25 points of slashing.
Fantastic.
This hate.
Okay.
I'm done.
Yeah, and like as the sand blasts, you watch as like bark is removed as well. Like if anybody's ever done sandblasting before, it's wild how abrasive and like how quickly it strips stuff off. And so yeah, the bark is just like flying off of this thing. You could carve your name into this thing if you wanted to.
Nice.
It is Sobi's turn. Sobi found pretty decent success with that flame blade before, and kind of seeing what Clarence was going for. She is all for it, so she is going to do her flame blade again.
Does she have advantage, I guess? I don't know.
She will have advantage, yeah, because of Crusher. So that's a 14 on the first one, 7 on the second. So that will hit, and she is going to. Okay. Yeah, I guess the blade is also shedding light. Not that that's necessarily important, but if you do need a light source, it's there. But yes, she is going to do her 3d6. And that's pretty good. 14, so 28 points of fire damage on this thing. And with that, this wraith root tree is looking incredibly damaged at this point. We are going to go then to the wraith root tree itself. It is going to try one more time. It has one more cast of Wraith Storm. So we're going to need that DC 16 Constitution save from you all. Just everybody within 30 feet. So I think that is...
Not me, right?
That's not you, and I
Clarence.
don't think it's Clarence. In fact, yeah, I'm going to say it's just Soren, Argus, and Sobi.
Gonna use Indomitable to re-roll that, because that was a 2 on the die.
It's the little people getting away safely.
25.
Wow.
Okay. Clarence, what was yours? Sorry.
You didn't have to roll.
Oh, yeah, you're not
Yeah,
there. I'm sorry.
you-
So, yeah, I'm sorry.
I see you, Derek. I see what you just trying to pull
Sorry.
there.
I'm so used to Clarence getting hit. I'm so used to Shadow's Bard characters getting hit so fucking hard. Okay, so Soren and Argus both succeeded. Sobi got an 18 on the die, succeeded as well. So yeah, the Wraith Storm fails once again, but this thing is going to try to take its slams then on Soren and Argus. So these are going to be, these are going to be 2 slam attacks, both plus 11. So that's only a 16 for Soren. That is a 17 plus 11 for Argus. So does 17 hit Soren?
17?
16, whatever I said.
16 does not hit. 17
Okay.
would have.
Okay, I think 16 was the first one. Okay, so Argus, that is 7, 10, 16 bludgeoning damage.
How could you? How could you, Derek?
I know.
After I did
like it's
if I
the
did, like,
dice making me do it.
After I did like
I would've
70
better
points
than
damage
this.
to you in like a turn. How dare you?
Yes, I know.
Fucking Lord Jesus.
His power imbalance is wild. Okay. So now it is the last Tree Blight's turn with Mochi ungrappleable. Let's see. How close is little Clarence there? How close are you, little Clarence? Oh, you're close enough.
I didn't get to hit you once. I'm gonna hit you now.
Don't like it.
I
This
just
thing has
posted in chat how excited I am. This is the first combat where Clarence doesn't go down.
Why would you
Too
jinx
soon.
that?
Jinx
It was looking so good.
I'm so
This thing does have 6 roots to grasp with, to be fair. So even if it was still in grappling Mochi, it would be able to grapple Clarence. All that said, Clarence, you can do a strength saving throw DC 17.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I'm sure it's not Dex. It's gonna be.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Thanks for asking.
It's not.
You sure it's not?
It's important to double check.
Yeah, I got the quick little tip tap rapid feats, you know. God. Okay. Oh. We don't add anything to that. That's 16.
16 is 1 short. It's DC 17. So you are grappled. The branch attack does miss. It does hit Mochi, but Clarence at least will take the Nash attack. So before that, let's do the branch attack. So Mochi, you are going to take was it 5, 7, 13 points of bludgeoning damage, and
Rude.
then Clarence, you are going to take what's that? 16 plus is 22 piercing damage.
Okay, does this count as a melee attack?
Sure. Yeah, it is
Okay.
melee. You're being, yeah.
Cool. Because I'm wearing my cloak of spines here, so I can block 2d4 of this damage.
Yeah. It's interesting because like this thing is trying to, like, the thorns kind of spike out of it, but you're already kind of thorn covered yourself. I was going to call you thorny. That felt inappropriate. Not for me to
Only
say.
on Tuesdays, Derek. All right, so that's what was the total damage again?
The total damage was, what was that? 22.
22. Okay, I get to reduce that by 4, but also I get to deal 4 points of magical piercing damage back at the tree. So
Okay. That at this point is actually pretty impactful for this tree. Great. That is, I believe, back to top of the turn order. So Clarence, grappled but not down, thorn covered in both ways. What does that look like for your turn?
Cool. So I have 2 questions for you, Derek.
Yeah.
1, does grappled mean I can't use somatic parts of spells?
I don't think so. Grappled just means I think you can't move.
Can't
It's
move.
one of those. Yeah, you're not paralyzed. You're not restrained.
Okay. Second question.
Yeah.
The boulder that I threw at the other tree that is now lodged inside of the tree,
Yeah.
would that count as a worn object?
For what purposes? I'm willing to say yes.
Okay.
Tell me what I'm saying yes
I love
to.
it, like, yeah, like what? Why?
Because I would really
Can a
like
tree
to
wear a
do-
rock? Is the question
Yeah.
I'm being asked here.
Because I would really like to do this really cool thing, Derek, where Clarence upcasts that catapult again, yoinks the boulder out of that tree to yeet it at the other tree.
Okay.
You kind of like it's kind of like you slingshot. It's like a delayed slingshot of the boulder.
Yeah. Essentially, what you're asking me is if I stab a man, is he wearing that knife? So
Simple question.
it's
Logistics.
a simple question, Your Honor.
Yes or no? So we're asking for yes or no.
Yeah, what does it mean to wear something? You know?
What does it? Do you wear your kidneys?
Oh
You know
no!
what, Clarence?
Oh my god!
I like this enough, Shadow. I'm going to say yes.
I like this
Please
enough.
don't hold this against me. I will rule of cool this and hope that it doesn't bite me in the ass later. But this has opened the door for so many weird questions. I need you to know that.
All right, Look, you brought up the kidney thing, and now I'm like, oh no, the implications.
Yes. Are you wearing your skin?
Wedding or scheme?
What about your appendix? Yeah, like
What if you wear somebody else's
It's a
skin?
weird necromancer I'm making.
this is yeah.
My God.
This is a necromancer question. Like this
Are
is
you
a
so-
necromancer's diary.
Look,
Your
Your
skin
skin
is something-
Cal,
just
what's
a
going
uniform?
on?
Like,
the intrusive
So,
thoughts of
Clarence.
Cal.
I once put something inside a man. Was he
there's
wearing that?
clothing. Discuss? Like,
Are we just our brains? Are we our muscular system? Are we our bones? Are we
we're
wearing
all
meat
just
suits?
warforged made of meat. Like, it's just Zemetsi's worst and best nightmare.
Clarence, I'm just a skull. Does that make me less of a person to you? Because I don't have meat? Is the meat part of me?
Oh God. Where's the line? When do I stop being me? Okay.
You crash into the grave, I guess. I don't know.
Okay. All right. Well, now that we have future questions to ponder for evil routes of Clarence Necromancer, Necrodancer. Sorry, Clarence is a bard. So. Okay, so yeah, so we're using our catapult again. We are yoinking it out of the other tree. I don't know if that does damage. And then we are yeeting it at the tree blight.
Yes.
The tree blight does get to make a dex saving throw.
Okay. It's not great at those, so let's see. That's a 4. Well, real low in these dex saves.
Yeah, no, not looking great for that. So now I get to do 5d8 damages. So that's 22 points of bludgeoning damage.
It had 21 hit points left, Clarence. How do you pull this rock that has been hammered inside of this tree? How do you rip it free and fling it hard enough to knock another tree down?
I think Clarence Clarence makes very violent eye contact with this tree. I'm assuming they have things that are eyes, that look like eyes.
Yeah, there's a couple of
Little,
knots.
tree knots
Yeah.
that look like
Yeah.
eyes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Clarence is just makes like evil bunny eye contact with these trees, and then does like a little whistle as if calling like an attack dog, and does like a little hand motion as you just hear, like, nothing happens for a split second, and you just hear wood creaking, and then all of a sudden this boulder comes flying out. There's like splinter wood timber bursts coming out of the other tree as it just yeets itself clear across the opening and embeds itself into the trunk. But this tree is smaller, so I imagine that it like is enough that it like rips a hole through it, and then the tree just kind of like collapses.
Oh, it shoots right through, splinters all the way through. Mochi on the other side, like you've already had all your fur kind of blown back from the fireball, and then there's just like right over the top of your head, this boulder just goes flying off into the forest.
This is awesome.
Clarence, I like that enough that I'm going to say it does half damage to the tree you ripped it out of. So that's 11 points to that. And you have just one tree left.
And I have a bonus action.
Yeah. How do you deal with this one tree hill?
Mochi, are you okay?
Just to ruin Keon's life at this point.
Okay. And then Clarence is going to bardic inspiration over to Argus. Get him, Argus. Cleave him in two.
You got it, bud.
Yeah,
Cool.
That's my turn.
With that, Argus, cleave him in two.
Cleave him in two. We're gonna run up, and we're just gonna cleave with a hammer.
Yeah.
21 to hit.
Yeah, absolutely.
10 damage.
Okay.
22 to hit.
For sure.
13 damage.
It had 20 hit points left, so with 23 damage, how do you fell this big boy?
I was asked to cleave, and I'm cleaving. Cleaving is happening as he just like spins with it, and just keeps spinning and keeps spinning and keeps spinning until its thing is in half.
Absolutely. Fantastic. With that, as the second tree creaks and almost like as you've chopped it down from one side to another, because Argus standing on one side, Sobe cutting into the other, you have like lumberjacked this thing to where it begins to creak and groan and begins to fall. And as it falls backwards away from all of you, it slams into the ground and just goops more as much as it splinters.
Ooh.
Like the bark just falls into the mud, starts to liquefy almost immediately. The roots just rotting as they do, and you already see that the other tree blights are rotting as well. And you are all officially out of combat.
Sorry, are
And-
these trees friends of yours? Because they're like real weird.
They were friends of mine. We wouldn't be fighting them. And he's like dropping out of his like sand form and running over to Sobe.
I don't know. I fought my friends all the time.
Yeah, I don't know. Mochi and I fight all the time. Like that's
Yeah, but you don't kill them.
That's
Or-
true.
True. True.
Yeah.
True.
Or
You know.
Or
is
maybe we just
wearing
add a
the
yet in there. We haven't
kidneys.
killed each other yet.
Or how about we just don't? That's also an option. Just
We
don't.
Fair.
No, just
So
don't.
we just can we just like sit here for like an hour or something?
First, let's just make sure everyone's okay before we
Yeah.
go resting officially.
Look, I need a rest because of half hit points, buddy. I'm,
Is
I'm
that
trying to
wall
get
again?
some
Is
hit
that
die in
pesky
here.
wall?
I'm trying to get some hit die in here.
Oh,
Wait, is there cellophane? What's happening?
hold on. Actually,
Okay,
Sword is just gonna say, I'm sorry for leaving you guys. It wasn't by choice, and I'm gonna cast Mass Cure Wounds on everybody, just in case.
Aw,
Okay.
Just
buddy.
Okay, you're gonna have to tell us what happened. Like you were with us one moment, and then poof, gone the next.
we can blame her for that, and looks at Sobe.
Just get
Sup,
all the
Sobe?
blame. Just get all
This
the blame
is-
off.
This is my sister.
She like extinguishes the flame blade, sheathes it, and just crosses her arms. Hi,
Kurt.
I'm
Uh,
sorry for leaving you all behind. I didn't and still kind of don't trust you. But Soren says you're cool, so I'm like I said, I'm sober.
You still don't trust them? They just helped us out. 27 points of healing for everybody.
Thanks. Hi, Sobe. I'm Clarence. It's okay if you don't trust me. I understand that trust is something that is earned and not given. It's really cool to meet you. I'm definitely gonna write a song about you, but I don't have to mention you by name if you don't want. But also
You should mention me
we-
by name.
Oh, okay, I will. Also we have this magical shard thing. That I think we need to return and right or wrong.
That's what I was trying to tell you. They have the thing that we need, so it made no sense. But no, of course,
Okay.
all these years you still don't listen.
You were gone for like years.
It wasn't by choice.
I sent you a sending about it. Hi, I'm Mochi. We talked. I sent you
Oh.
a sending about that. You knew. No, you don't big sister Soren into feeling guilty about this. He didn't. He couldn't help it. He got frozen in an eternal winter. That wasn't
Thank
entirely
you.
internal because we fixed it.
Moji, are you from around here? You look.
No, I just got my hair done. Thank you.
Oh,
My hair done. Thank you.
well. Listen, I'm glad you have the fragment, but
the
we
MacGuffin.
need
Yes.
yes. Is that Scottish?
Is that wall
Uh,
again? Is that that wall? So many
Somewhere around
cracks.
here.
It's
gone.
gone. Oh fuck.
Freedom of movement. I can ignore any wall.
Yes, all that difficult terrain you're just passing right through. Uh, yeah, the fractal of the great stone. I'm glad that you have it. But the elders have been convened, Soren. We need to get back like yesterday. Like they're trying to decide what to do, and none of the options sound great.
Don't you get a say in this?
I'm not an elder. I didn't get to see all the pretty rocks.
Thought there was a whole big thing about you being next in line or whatever. Okay, it's fine. It's
Yeah,
fine.
next in line to lead your sorry ass, but that's not what like okay. We can deal
Where's the
with
nearest
this.
rock? Where's the nearest rock?
There's one in that tree over there.
That's
Please stop
great.
hitting each other. We just spent healing magic. Non-lethal only, guys. Come on.
No,
It's
I'm
fine. I love her. She's just a rock in my bark.
Kaio peeks his head out from like behind the boulder. So looks like y'all are perfectly set. I'm gonna go now. I don't need any payment. This was
Curse has
enough.
been broken.
Who's
Yours
who's
broken.
that?
Your party survived.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yay!
Yay!
Yay! I'm gonna yeah.
Do your song. Don't you want your song?
No, I'm gonna walk away from the table while I'm winning.
I'm gonna walk away from the table while I'm ahead. That's a good
Okay.
attitude. Honestly, I respect
Yeah. So far,
Yay, bye,
I'm
Kaio.
one for. I'm not gonna tell you how many. Bye.
it. That's a bad sign.
That is a bad sign.
That's a rough one.
It's less than you think, but more than you'd like.
Both are bad.
Yep.
Thank you
That
again.
is a great place for us to take a break. So let's go ahead.
Violence.
Let's go ahead and take 10 to 15. We will be back shortly. Please consider donating in the meantime to Fauna and Flora International. Impact this game. Crits, advantages, and complications are all at your fingertips as long as you have some extra cash to send to a wonderful organization that works all around the world. And please enjoy our ad reel. We have some wonderful affiliateships that you can take advantage of as well, including Hit Point Press, the makers of Humblewood. So enjoy your time. Pet your pets, do the things, and we will be back shortly. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Humblewood Yonderbound, the second season of Humblewood right here on Sword and Key. I'll say this now. I kept telling myself, like, there's no way I can do another season of this. Like, this is just like they've saved the world, like the actual world. But then I wrote myself out of a corner, is how I describe it, where I just imagine, like, well, wouldn't it be cooler if this actually happened? So I don't know. We'll see. This is probably going to be one of those things that just goes on for the rest of my life, just like Horizon's Call turned into.
I'm sorry.
And
What actually happens? I'm sorry. What was that?
I wouldn't worry about it. So yeah, we pick up with our party having somewhat healed, standing amongst the wreckage of their recent combat, where they came to the aid of Soren and his sister Sobe. Sobe has informed you that Soren, your home is in need of assistance, that it's time you all got moving quickly. Is there anybody or anything anybody wanted to do either before going off further into the jungle or while going into the jungle?
I mean, I appreciated the healing, but I'm still not particularly healthy.
Yeah.
Those trees hit kind of hard.
Yeah,
How is my party looking?
I'm pretty much still max. So
Right,
Yeah.
I guess I'm just.
after the
I'm just-
healing, I'm pretty maxed now.
I'll just heal myself then. Screw you guys.
I tried.
Yeah. Sure.
Be mad at her.
I can be mad at both of you.
Hey,
It's
hey.
a skill I have.
Well, and he just like kind of like puts his fingers together, like, but Mochi, I don't like it when you're mad at me. That's just Makes me
I
feel
thought
bad.
you were dead, and I don't like it when I think you're dead either. You were gone. There were pirates. There was explosions, and you weren't sand. And then your sister's screaming in my head. You know, you're not the only one who didn't have a good time with this. And while she's ranting at you, she's healing herself. Rage healing. And I roll high enough for max, fortunately.
Fantastic.
Just yelling and healing.
And he's just taking it. He's just like,
Yeah, at
Yeah.
some point she'll like half turn around to Soba, like, we talked before. You could have just, you know, you both of them, you knew and know that we're helping Soren.
That music was too intense. Yes, I know, And listen, I
You're
apologize.
rude.
Yeah, okay. Like, you're a tourist. Like, we're just gonna throw names around. Like,
You
I've
can't
been.
just kidnap people.
It's not kidnapping. Well, you can't.
what
You can't
part
kidnap
of
family.
it wasn't kidnapping? The part
on.
where you grabbed me by my mouth and
Hold on, I'll figure this
snatched
out.
me?
I'll figure this out.
Oh,
One sec.
I'll wait.
Legality's hard, you know.
You know, we've been talking about this since we were kids. You can start with sorry.
I found it in the middle.
Sure.
Oh, she looks up. Look at the time. The sun is. Oh gosh.
It's still up.
There's cloud cover.
If anything, it's
can't
getting
even see the
higher
sun.
considering it's like what, noon?
Yeah.
Wave
Oh, I
at
didn't
that
pay
star and
that.
say hi to Hath. That's how we find you.
Okay.
What's important is we have what you were
Thank
looking
you.
for, and we're here to deliver it to those who need it delivered.
Argus coming in with all the sense.
That's good.
If you need proof that we have it, I can pull it
Did
out.
Did you guys get KQ or
Yeah.
where's she at?
Yeah.
She's back at the town.
Overseeing things together with Betty. Betty's like lifting a house right now.
The whole house.
The pirates kind of really fucked up that town, so we left like a recovery crew.
Essentially, yeah.
Nice.
We also left like Ferdinand and stuff. Like we were figured, core group, and Betty can come a little. Betty can follow us later because she's like fast and smart, and I've been marking trees.
He didn't die?
Which one?
Cool.
Ferdinand.
Yeah, no, he's okay.
Huh.
No one at any point considered hitting him with anything other
That's
than the
not true.
pirates.
Other than the
Interesting.
power of the sun,
Oh, yeah.
I guess.
Yes.
Just the pirates. I don't
Yes.
know.
To that, Soren goes into his bag and just like pulls out 2 golds and give it to Clarence. Like, like that we had a bet on it. Like I thought he would die.
Aha!
Faith.
I mean, the 30 days aren't up yet. He might still die in Argus's employ.
I hope he doesn't. He's a very good employee.
Is he, or is he just compelled to be a good employee?
I don't know. Find out.
Find out in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
I'm compelled to be a good employee. You know, like I am paid money. That is my Gaius spell.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Capitalism is my game.
Yeah.
Capitalism is my gayest.
Roof over my head.
Protection? Yes.
Oh no. Yeah, that's
Why
why
do
we
you
play
want
D&D
to-
is so we could have
Yeah.
money and shelter and not have to worry about like I don't know, I probably ate. I didn't say it, but I ate. I know I did.
Rest.
Exactly.
It's one of those,
Yeah.
why do you want to work for this company? I live in society and I need fucking cash. You
Yes.
asshole.
Yeah. You're hiring. I have
Yes.
warm blood running through my veins. Like, what are we doing here?
Right.
We live in a hellscape.
Yeah. I mean, I believe in the message your company is sending to people. Just put. money
We're a
on my
family.
calendar.
We're a
Yeah.
family.
I
Family, and I
believe the
could use an
name.
allowance.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I believe the name
Yeah.
that you put on that check. Mhm.
Like it's an allowance. That's good.
I did
Okay.
slap the Horizons call crew when they went to hell with "We're all family here," and just all of their faces, just instant hatred.
Yeah. It's a real good way to piss off a millennial. Okay. So, yes, you have healed up somewhat. The rain continues to pour down, but you at least have somebody who knows exactly where you're going. 2 people, in fact, who know exactly where you're going. And so the jungle awaits. Moving through.
We're following.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
At this point, we're set to follow.
Yeah.
Okay. Sobi draws her sword once again, and she's like, "Listen, the jungle's been weird lately. Okay, just like watch your step, obviously, but I at least got to Wayfair without too much issue. I didn't come through here the first time, but just watch your step, okay? I'll take lead. Just watch your step." And she goes cutting through some leaves. Like stuff's been growing a lot faster, but then it's also rotting at the same time. It's been
Ugh.
really weird.
Gross.
Made it here.
So,
Clarence,
um,
no, go ahead.
Mochi wanted to ask Sobi, now that we're apparently on speaking terms again, who knows? So, we talked to people who talked about the people at the temple thing we're going to, and said that they were like even crankier than normal, and even more wary of outsiders than normal. And why?
Yeah, so Soren, I know it's been a long time since you've been home. Stuff has changed a bit. Um, we've had to set up defenses. There's a lot more weird things coming out of the night and the shadows, and we've just had to set a perimeter. And so it's fine. You're with me. I know the proper signals to get us through without any issue. Um, yeah, it's been like I said, it's been weird and scary, and I'm glad you all have I'm glad you all have the fractal of the Zephyr Rock. It's really nice. I'm hoping that can solve all this. Whatever.
I mean, it fixed winter when we stopped it making winter. It can do some pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, that's just a little bit of it. I mean, I've not seen it ever before. I was tasked with leading our people. We tend to let, you know,
Old
the
farts.
the ladies lead and the boys get to play with rocks.
Hey,
They're cool rocks, I hear. I don't know. I have not seen them.
I mean, if it works, it works. Only, did it work?
It-
Was?
we still don't know how. Still trying to figure out how did it break anyway? How did the fractal get away?
Well, one of the things we've had to deal with recently are pirates, and the theory is that a long time ago, some pirates came in and took a chunk of it. We've had some thieving recently, but I think that's what you all were dealing with.
Ah,
Mm-hmm.
So, handling that as well. But
But before it broke, I- so I didn't get into school, so I missed some of like the history lessons. But as I'm sure Clarence already knows this, but if you like explain it to me like I'm 9, um, before it broke, how did these rocks even like get there? What's their original purpose before they started messing things up and breaking to pieces and getting stolen and stuff like?
I don't know. I mean, we just have myths at this point, but the myths say that they were pieces of the 5 pillars of our world, the foundational stones, right? You had the cinder stone and the zephyr rock and the aquamarine and the understone and the gem seed, and they all are balanced. And we were supposed to look over them along with the other 4 tribes, right? But it says that the Amaranthines condensed elemental power into each of them so that we could always have balance. But like I said, the chunk that you all are carrying got taken a long time ago. And with any building with support, load-bearing pillars, it's not going to collapse immediately, but I think it's been collapsing for a long time, and that imbalance has been causing all of the other pillars, the stones themselves, to carry more weight than they should. And that balance is not holding right now, and it's making everything around here worse. And that storm seems like it's never ending. It seems like it's expanding even. I wouldn't even be surprised if it was reaching where you all are from by this point.
And the
You saw a small
other-
part of it, sounds like, in the Humblewood.
Yeah. Well, then someone used the fractal to make it a little worse in general. And then
You know?
we also thought that some of the storm might have just been the worms having mating season. It's just a little gross. Are the other 4 tribes okay?
I mean, they're anxious and pissed and trying to find a solution to all this, but like I said, none of the solutions sound really great right now.
Okay. Huh.
And we've just had I don't know, there's something else too. People aren't sleeping well. There's been a lot
Yeah.
of like weird dreams and everybody's just really tired and on edge.
Yeah. So it's I don't think it's gossiping when it's talking to God. But I asked my God about it, about why everyone where you're from was being a little antsy, and
Uh-huh.
they did indicate that they were being influenced by something like from the outside.
Yeah, I think that's for the elders to talk to you about, because I don't get told about that kind of stuff. But I
That's
hear
lame.
again,
You're
not
out here doing all of their dirty work, and they don't even tell you things.
well, I do the stuff out here that listen, all I'm gonna say is they've sent in some people to try to solve the problem, and those people haven't made it back. And then they sent
Okay.
in more people, and those people didn't make it back.
Okay. Well, we're
So,
really good at talking to elders.
oh, that's nice. I like talking to old people too.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, compared to me, basically everyone's old, so I have a lot of practice.
Mm.
Yeah, how old are you?
9.
So when they said talk to them like they're 9, they kind of meant
That's
it.
literal.
Mhm,
I
yeah,
get, I'm getting
literal.
it now. Yeah. Do you want some gum?
No,
Okay, I just thought kids like candy. I don't know.
gum isn't candy. Gum is a chore for your mouth.
It's weirdly something I believe a raccoon would say. I don't know why. Moving through the jungle, Clarence, Caliban, pipes up. Clarence, I don't like this place very much. Well, I should say, I like this place too much, but I'm trying to dislike the things I used to like. So, I'm just saying this place feels really bad.
Okay, so going along with that train of thought, Cal, what is it that you are trying not to like about this place?
Side question, what's a train? Never mind.
Mm.
No,
Well,
this...
that's like, it has several different meanings. We don't have
Mhm.
time to go through like all 20 of them right now.
Fair enough. So, what I don't like about this place is it smells like death. Not it smells like dying is what it smells like. It's I can sense necrosis about this
Okay.
place.
Yeah.
And all of it feels unnatural. It feels manufactured.
Hmm. So like a necromancer is doing it manufactured?
No, that would be more undeath. This is something is causing this place to decay.
Hmm.
But it's not natural decay. It's not like aging, or it's not like just the natural process. But there's something that's hanging here, like a low-lying fog that just smells like it smells like festering.
Ew.
Hmm. Is it something that you could reach out and touch?
Well, I don't have fingers, Clarence. That's really offensive. But I could try to sense something. I have your permission to do a little bit of the less than pleasant magic.
What does that look like, Cal?
Well, the unpleasant part about it is it doesn't necessarily hurt anybody, but as I'm reaching out to something else that has dark tendrily connections, those connections go both ways. So that thing would also be able to see us.
Just all of us or just you?
You and me specifically.
Okay. Do you think it's something that's more powerful than you?
No, come, please. Clarence, please. I don't know for certain. I'm not sure, but
Okay. Well,
probably not.
Thank you for being honest.
Yes.
Okay. Well, maybe let's put a pin in it for right now. But be open if something comes knocking our way.
So
It
if
would-
something tries to look in on us, just open door policy? Is that what we're
But-
doing?
I mean, I think maybe just cautiously, like, crack the door open a couple of inches.
Yes, use
To
the
see
people.
what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Evaluate
Say, who is it?
Mhm.
And if it's something like,
Because-
well, fucking nightmares, you're like, well, I'm not home. You have a
Yeah,
warrant.
leave a message. Because it might be something that if the connection goes both ways, we might also be able to weaken it enough so that everybody else can put the shard back and save everything.
I'll bear that in mind.
Okay. And also let me know if you start to recognize any of these feelings or any of this magic. Like it seems familiar to you, like a possible like arch nemesis or a coworker or something. A former coworker. But yeah. Are you doing okay, Cal? And I know we've kind of given you a lot to think about recently.
I have all the time to think. Doing fine.
Okay.
There's everything I can do to support you better. Please don't hesitate to ask.
Okay, I will.
And you continue on your journey, walking and talking as you do. There's a couple of times where Sophie will like put up a hand and tell you all to stop, and you'll wait quietly for what seems like an hour before having to like stand up and move again. It's like and just rain just pouring down. So it's kind of miserable moving through, but it's also you find like a little bit easier. So he's like, watch out for that root. There's a rock there. We're gonna take this trail. You come to a fork, like we're taking this one. You kind of see like this labyrinth of this jungle. The way that it's set up can be incredibly confusing. There's no real landmarks. There's no like, you know, if there's marks in the trees, I think Soren's the only one that's noticing them. You know, just small little druidic that's actually marked on the trees themselves. Otherwise, it'd be very difficult to find your way from A to B.
And Mochi is trying to leave like marks that Betty would be able to find.
Fantastic.
Assuming-
I'm actually I was
Assume-
gonna say
like I said, like I think I yelled it somewhere when we went to Soren or so. I said like, but ever since we started running into the jungle, she would have been trying to leave a trail for Betty so she can find us when she's done moving houses.
for sure. I'm gonna say just for the sake of it, Betty has joined you, ironically, with a massive great axe over her shoulder, right after you dealt with trees. But yeah, you were
Typical.
able to. I know. But you continue traversing through the jungle. Every now and then, there's like a slight break in the trees where you can see this massive mountain range to your left, and you kind of find yourself almost traveling parallel to it, and also maybe even less than parallel, kind of angling towards it from time to time, and it takes a while. In fact it takes all night. You don't reach the camp the first night, or the encampment, I should say. So as the first night arrives and the jungle begins to just grow even louder with that sound of insects, just not it's not white noise. It's somehow like aggravating and grating to your ears, but not to the point where it's, something that you couldn't drown out with time. It's unpleasant. Um, but night arrives all the same, and Soba begins to try to make a fire in the rain, something that, she probably is capable of doing with some difficulty.
You can just use the fire in my tent.
Yeah, we have a tent.
You put a fire in your tent?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mochi will use the camper's respite to cast the tent. Don't worry, it's bigger on the inside. And has a fire.
You also don't have to use the tent. I mean, it is
You don't
optional,
have
but,
to.
but it's kind of nice.
If you do, though, wipe your feet.
Okay. Yeah. Wipes her feet and kind of walks in. Oh, this is pretty nice. This is pretty good.
It's temperature controlled, too.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
My mom knows I didn't like camping, but I still went to save the world from winter, so my mom gave me the tent.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Mochi will start like pawing through the bag Argus has all our stuff in from
Yeah.
the boat before because she's tired and she wants to touch shiny things and she just wants to like not do things actively. Just touch shiny things. And when she gets to the enveloping long coat, as so beautifully described, I think she'd be like, "Oh, do you think this will fit me?"
We may have to hem it just a little bit, but it looks really good.
It's pretty, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I like my armor and like the shiny dragon skills, but does the armor really go with the red panda look? You know?
Are you keeping the look?
I don't know. It's sort of a day-to-day thing. I'll decide in the morning. Still,
like
though,
it
the
either
long
way.
coat looks cool.
Yeah.
Mochi will ask Clarence to help her out of her skill mail, because otherwise it takes forever. And put on Captain's Pride.
Fantastic.
I think the insignia will change to Hath symbol.
Mm-hmm.
But a little more colorful, like a rainbow Hath symbol.
I like that. I like the design of that. So this is the Captain's Pride. It is a captain's long coat that was found amongst the belongings of Balthazar Blackbone's pirates. And let's see here. Where is the description of it? Here's the decanter. Ah, there we go. Well-crafted leather armor comes with a sturdy, enveloping long coat bearing on the back insignia of a well-known pirate captain. So it was the Balthazar Blackbone's insignia, his Jolly Roger, but you have shifted it to represent Hath. When you attune to it, the insignia changes to one that represents you instead. Absolutely.
Wow.
While wearing this armor, climbing and swimming don't cost you extra movement. You can breathe underwater. And as a bonus action, you can use a bonus action to shift into a watery elemental form, and it gives you a number of benefits: bonus to your speed, resistance to damage, advantage on certain ability checks, advantage to perception checks when you're underwater, and it lasts as long as you concentrate, as if concentrating on a spell for a maximum of 1 minute. Pretty good.
Solid.
The whole breathing underwater thing is amazing when we go surfing again.
Mm-hmm. She's not coming up. She's fine.
She's fine, dude. Don't worry about it. Her gods got her back.
Literally.
Yeah.
Literally.
Join Hath.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is kind of a thing. It's like, you're not walking on water, but that is one way to sell a religion. Worked pretty well for one guy. That's all I'm saying.
Hang 10, praise Hath is a hell of a slogan.
I've converted plenty of people, but there's plenty more to go.
The whole world was just waiting, just asking.
I just don't know they need her yet, but they do.
This is so bad.
They just don't know.
You just don't know yet. Don't worry about it. We'll get there. We'll figure it
Inform the
out.
masses
Okay.
soon enough.
Look, once I get that divine intervention off one time, Mochi will like shake out some of the other items for the rest to like. This is also stuff we found on the boat, by the way,
Yes.
and like mainly showing it to like Soren. And I know you weren't there, but if you think one of this is like extra shiny, we can talk. You know.
But I don't think I. Oh no, I don't know if I deserve it. Hold on. Question.
Hmm.
Who was the other Tilia you guys had with you?
Oh, that was Kyle.
Not Kyle.
What did he mean about you guys being his party? Did you guys replace me while I was gone?
No, it was more of a transactional thing, you know. Yeah, we met him. Well, yeah, he was one of the ones that we liberated in the other town when we hand puppeted the Pirate King. And so yeah, but so we didn't know where he went, and then we don't know the jungle, so then we had to hire somebody who did know the jungle.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. I thought you all just were like, oh well, one Tilia gone, another one's just as good.
No,
Okay.
he definitely wasn't as good.
He didn't help us. He didn't help us fight, so that is that.
No.
So
Yeah, he
that
like
technically
ran
was
away.
just his job. Was just to be a tour guide. It wasn't
Yeah.
like anything special.
He wasn't nearly as cool as you are. He never once turned into sand. Also, but when Argus hand puppeted the Pirate King, everyone went to bed at night. And also we have to finish planning that surprise we talked about.
Oh,
But
yeah.
we also had that promise to keep that I mentioned earlier. So at night I snuck out and I tied the Pirate King's remains to the anchor and I dropped him because that's what we said we would do, and we do what we say we would do.
Good
So,
job.
full circle.
And when you say we do what we say we would do, Soren goes into his bag and pulls out his chunk of the alder heart and gives it to Sobe and says, where they're all from, they live in this giant tree, and I talked to the tree, and the tree's like really cool. And I wanted to give you this.
Oh. Well, thanks.
Yeah. Wasn't out there just being frozen for nothing, okay?
I know. But it was... Listen, it was tough not having you. Like, I don't think you realize how much people really relied on you. And that's not a criticism. It's like a... Yeah. Okay.
I get it. It's just, I feel really bad right now, specifically because, and like looks out into like the world. I'm pretty sure a lot of this wouldn't have happened if I would have actually just came back. So yeah.
I don't know.
Wait, what do you mean? I was supposed
Why-
to bring the shard back, and then for 3 years I'm just missing in action.
But it sounds like you couldn't even get the shard because somebody was using it to do weird shit, and then listen, like,
Yeah.
we can always look back on what we could have done, but you know, like, you did what you did, and it has to be enough.
If geckos could cry, Soren would be crying right now.
Oh.
And just like he's gonna hug his sister, like, I really missed you.
Studio Ghibli tears, Jesus.
Yeah. If Geckos Could Fry is my favorite Red Hot Chili Pepper song.
I was about to say, it sounds like some horrible cover band.
Thank you, everyone, for If Geckos Could Cry.
I'm adding that to my list of things. Hold on. Oh my god.
And tomorrow's going to be a lot faster. I used a spell slot that I only have really one of a day, and we can do the spell tomorrow to get there a lot quicker, but just we need to get... I have one tree that I trust right now. That's all I'm going to say.
Hold on. Wait a minute. I need to see a thing.
swear to God, if this is when Soren discovers he has tree stride.
Oh,
You magic casters and your spells.
oh, I need to see a thing. I was going to use tree stride in that battle, but I was like, I don't
Do you want
want
to be in those trees?
No, no.
Does that even
I don't think that would be good for you.
That's the thing. So Soviet has transport via plants, but there's a
Yeah.
lot of plants that I've seen people walk into and not walk
And
back
they-
out of.
They don't
Like,
walk out of. Yeah.
You can't trust a lot of plants these days. They're mad. Yeah. Something is the happening if you've that reference tracks at all. The Happening was a Mark Wahlberg, Zoe Deschanel, M. Night Shyamalan film about plants killing people. Well, making people off themselves. It was
Yes.
wild. Don't watch it. It's terrible.
Wild life to live, I tell you what.
I'm hearing the next Sword and Key movie night.
Yeah.
Oh,
Same.
I sat through that once.
And that sounds like I won't do it
It's
again.
the second worst film I've ever seen.
It sounds like
That's
a
the
Anniek
first.
birthday.
Alien vs. Predator Requiem. It's just terrible.
That's somebody's
I
favorite
love
movie
Alien
out
vs.
there,
Predator.
Derek.
Yeah. We're getting into deep personal lore here. I will say, Sobi decides to get some rest just so we can move faster. I'm just gonna lie down. We should be okay. Your tent seems pretty nice, all things told. But if anybody wants to watch out for anything, I wouldn't be mad about it.
I feel like Clarence and Argus just high five. It's like
Yeah.
taking the watches.
I would like to see something real quick. Sorry.
For sure.
Give me two-
Mochi has a massive perception, but every time they skip her for watch, she's just like, you know what? I will not be reminding them. I will be having a nap. I'm not gonna volunteer for watches if nobody asks me to.
Absolutely.
Oh.
Keon's looking something up. If Argus and Clarence just wanted to give me perception checks.
17.
I'm just trying to figure out how Druid's Grove works.
Oh yeah, Druid's Grove is fun.
Druid's Grove, what's that?
It's just there's so many things on this, and I know it's if I cast it in the same place. I just need to know what happens if I just use it once.
Is that a new Druid spell?
It's an
Mhm.
older one, but it's a high. I think I've
6th
used it
level.
before, but it's a higher Druid spell, so you don't see
Yeah.
it too often. But it kind of just like settles the area that you're in, and if you like cast it over and over, it becomes this like permanent, really pleasant Druid place that you can kind of like, hey, like this is like, especially if you have like a home base, it's one of those things where it's like,
Oh,
hey,
nice.
this is pretty chill.
Okay.
If I remember right, you get like trees that will like defend the area for you and everything.
That's literally what I'm about to do now.
Yeah.
I am going to cast Druid Grove and just like I'm planting like little seeds as I'm doing this, and just because it's only the way it works is like if I cast it multiple times, it just exists until
Mhm.
it's done.
It just exists.
But now
yes.
it doesn't just exist, which is fine. However, as I'm casting this, is just protecting the area, giving us a little bit of like coverage. You see 4 little twigs start to grow very quickly. And then they turn into trees, and then they uproot themselves, and they like are like smaller tree blights that we just fought. And what you see Soren like clap his hands, and they all just like fall into like military formation. And he walks in front of them all like, okay, your brothers, they were not kind, they were not nice, and they tried to kill us. I would like for you all to protect us and make sure that we are safe and we are sound while we are sleeping.
All the branches shoot up to like a open hand salute. And yeah, they start to patrol. You hear a soft crunch in the ground as these 4 awakened trees uproot themselves and begin to just kind of like move around and keep watch. Yeah, so there's a lot of things that this can do. You have the Grove Guardians. You can create a fog as well
Ooh.
that all of you can see through.
Nice.
You can also create grasping undergrowth. Any number of 5-foot squares on the ground that aren't filled with fog, with grasping vines and weeds. You can basically just like booby trap your entire 90-foot area. Except
This
to
spell
anybody
sounds
that you like.
awesome. What the heck?
It's pretty great.
It's
Yeah.
great. It's
Uh,
phenomenal. I love it.
You can also create two locations that have gust of wind, spike growth in one area, and a wind wall. It's
It's so bonkers.
just
Yeah.
a fortress in the forest, just like
Yeah.
posted up.
Listen, when the trees want to fight you, when the world is against you,
Honestly,
that's all you got, man.
Hey, I'm I got nothing.
Soren has
I
created.
hit things a lot.
full-on
I don't know what you want.
He's like, we're not doing this again, Babs. So yeah, I'm setting. This is the safest place in this forest right now.
Nice.
So yeah, as Clarence and Argus go to make their watches, like the trees just kind of shoo you away. Like there's if you could speak tree, it's like, listen, we've got this. Amateurs.
Listen, I get what you're trying to do. I get it.
I
Oh.
live here. Like
Yeah, I know what's happening here. But yeah, you guys don't have to. You guys can get some sleep.
Yay.
It's been a hard day for
Thanks.
everybody.
You know, thanks,
Shaking
Russ.
branches with all of the trees.
Hi,
I'll take
I'm
a rest.
Clarence.
yeah, just shaking branches. Yeah.
Well, she's trying to convince one of the trees that, like, if they keep the tent flap open, if the tree would like gently waft some cooler air through it, just like it's temperature controlled, but just like a calming sensation. Just
Yeah, there's a
little
palm tree
breeze.
that just like
Yeah,
naturally has the big
exactly,
palm
just-
leaves. Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
yeah. Perfect.
Long rest to you all.
Bless God.
Hello, spell slots.
And in the morning, Sobi awakens and sees your now trustworthy trees. Wow, okay, yeah. She like clears her throat and in Druidic. Can we walk through you? Can we use you as a temporary door?
Can I walk through you as a wild question
Just
in the
asking for like a
morning?
friend.
Yeah, can I we're gonna can you just hold still? Like you're not gonna feel anything. Maybe
Do
a
you mind
slight
just-
pressure.
Yeah, do you mind just like splitting yourself open for me? Just for a second.
We're tiptoeing too close to I'm sure there's a market out there for that. Not this one.
Is it
Market.
more if it's a
There's
tree?
a market for everything. What are you talking
I
about?
don't think that's
I
more. I don't know.
Father.
Oh
Oh,
my.
praise half.
Praise half indeed.
The tree just kind of like
Oh.
shifts and shrugs a little bit, and so he's like, "Okay, I think we're gonna. You can walk just in the tree. And it's gonna be just a second though. You're gonna come out another tree. It's gonna feel a little disorienting. Make sure to breathe throughout. Do not hold your breath, and vomiting may occur. Okay, everybody. And she walks up the tree, puts her like little gecko hand on it, traces a few of the natural lines of the bark on it, and you watch as like the bark, yeah, absolutely does kind of like split, makes this glowing doorway big enough for all of you to fit through one at a time. After all of you.
Soren's gonna go through first.
Yeah. Let the magic folk go first. This time.
just
Why?
so
Mochi wants to go through last. That way, if people puke, they don't puke on her. Look. If Argus pukes, it's like on my head.
Oh, I'll puke too. It's like a
Ew.
pellet.
Yeah. It'll be bludgeoning damage. I'm just gonna. Just gonna
bludgeoning
wait a little.
versus acid is better though.
And
Okay. Yes, you all pass through. I leave it to you whether you hold your breakfast or not. Because you saves for that. But as you do pass through, you feel this like pulling sensation. Like if gravity was pulling you forward. This almost like, you're being pulled through a tunnel. You're being transported from one place of existence to another, and there's a pop as even in your ears the air pressure pops as you appear in a completely different place entirely, a different place of the jungle. You now find yourselves at the foot of this massive mountain range, and are kind of like looking up as the mountains are almost even blocking up part of the sky. The jungle behind you, as the tree that you've walked out of is kind of like facing into this side of the mountain. There's still a lot of space between, but you could reasonably, at this point, you're seeing like some of the switchbacks, some of the early parts of the mountain itself, where if you wanted to climb it, that's something this might be a base camp for. Nevertheless, you're also looking around as you pop out just like 10 feet from this like palisade of wooden spikes, massive carved wooden spikes. It's close enough that it's like, oh, those are right there, but it's far enough that you're not going to poke your eye out as soon as you pop out of the tree. And as you all kind of gather outside this tree area, Sobi is the last one through. Oh, sorry about that. Those are new, but it's fine. Also, she like whistles, and you hear a return call, almost the reverse of that, back to her. Okay, now we're not gonna get hit with blow darts. Okay,
That was a
good
possibility.
news.
You didn't tell me.
I told you I knew the call.
You could have told me what the call was, and I could have made the call. It's fine. It's fine. It's
Oh,
fine.
I'm sorry. Yes, I am leading with an apology.
Wow, that was so passive aggressive. I'm impressed. Well
I
done.
wasn't meant to be.
Oh, in that case, I retract my compliment.
Moshi
What?
is like, oh, that was passive aggressive. Meanwhile, Soren is like, she apologized.
She's growing.
Girl,
Like,
Mochi is like Mochi has more siblings than is sensible, so she just always assumes.
Okay, I'm gonna lead from here and just, listen out for when you gotta walk over or under something. And there is a path that she's kind of leading you down. Past perceptions. Soren and Mochi, you two especially, notice at this point that every now and then there's like a shuffle in the tree line above, and you can see just a spot of color and recognize Attilia that has hidden themselves amongst like the higher branches of some of these trees. Again, these are massive trees. These aren't the size of the Alderheart, but these are pretty big. Smaller than what you have in the Humblewood, but only by a little bit. We're still talking like a lot of these are redwood sized. But if you do spot one, you see maybe like the glint of an eye. There's a little nod or that's given towards Soren. Sobi tries her best to navigate you all. Tripwire right there. That's gonna kill you. That'll kill you. That'll trap you and then kill you.
Mochi
Wait.
just wants to, like, gently, like, either prod Soren or so, whichever one's closest. So when I spot them, I'm not supposed to spot them. Do I still wave to say hi, or do I not acknowledge that I spotted them? What's the norm? Do they want to think they're doing a good job, or do I just say hi because I'm new here?
I think they're not trying to hide anymore, really, because they're like whistle and all that stuff.
Hey, Clarence and Argus didn't see them, so they're hiding a little. Look at them; they're oblivious.
I'm not oblivious. I know that there are several, but
I mean, you're
treat them like how you treat Lorelei.
Steal their stuff so I can get proficiency.
Make it a contest. How many?
Oh,
you can
beautiful.
spot?
Oh,
Yes, also, by the way, am I here? I don't know if we established that.
I was about to-
did we bring her?
Oh,
I know
All
Ferdinand
right.
got put on the boat. I know that I was still underemployed. I just wanted to make sure, like, I don't know if I was supposed to kill Ferdinand if he went weird after the Gaia spell, but I can be here if you want.
We have 2 more weeks before the gay spell, so if we're not back in 2 weeks,
I mean, he might never be back. I don't know.
yeah, but they kill him
You'll
anyway.
know. You'll
vote
then
know.
to
of
kill him.
confidence.
Okay, I'm here if you want me. Otherwise, this never happened.
Schrodinger's Lorelei. I love it.
Schrodinger's Lorelei is good. That's really good.
But when you say make it a contest, you say how many I can spot, or for I can be more sneaky than they're being sneaky. Because if I try to be really sneaky, then they might think that I'm actually being sneaky, but I'm not being sneaky. You know? You know? I feel like you know. Clarence would know.
We could play I Spy.
I Spy. All right. I think Mochi and Soren will play I Spy with semi-hidden Tilias.
Yeah, good again. Improve your skills, you know.
Yeah. So babe, why do we have to up the defenses so much?
Like I said, there's been pirates and weird things coming out of the jungle. There's unnatural stuff, and at first it was taking some of the guards in the night, and then it started getting further and further in, and after a while we just kind of had to ramp things up. I mean, we've had to kind of arm everybody at this point. Everybody's really on edge, and nobody's sleeping, and that's only making people more on edge.
We're not supposed to be warriors. This isn't
We're not
good.
great at it.
Soren has like the biggest look of concern on his face as he's like looking over the other Tilia who are just like watching us, and he sees faces he recognizes, and he's like, oh, that's not good. They're not good at this.
And I mean, they look haggard. A lot of them have like, where they've been shedding their skin or molting that hasn't come off right. Some of them are paler than their coloration would otherwise look like. I mean, it's not like geckos can get bags under their eyes, but like you can tell that they are very worn thin, very, very tired. As you continue to traverse all of these traps and everything, it isn't too long to where you begin to reach this. How do I describe this? It's like a set of plateaus. Judging by the this is I think a great map from Shane Peku, and we'll have this for next episode as well. But you begin to reach the tribal area proper, the actual village that Soren is from, and it is built somewhat into treetops until you also realize that these plateaus are trees themselves, or at least were, almost made out of like an additional part of the mountain. At first, what you think looks like stone, or looks almost like wood, you soon realize is more like stone, as these plateaus seem to be made of petrified wood. And this hardened exterior that might remind some of you a bit of the avium, which also was a giant petrified tree. This is not a standing tree anymore. These almost look like a series of trees that had long ago split at a certain point in their along their trunks and had smoothed out over time, whether manufactured that way or naturally. But Sobe brings you to a walkway, a boardwalk that leads upstairs, and you are passing by, again, those wooden palisades, the spiked bits of branches and wood that are kind of laid out for here and there. There are Tilia guards with spears, bows and arrows, blowguns, variety of just simple weapons that they have armed themselves with. But as you all begin walking into camp, like you can tell the rumor mill is just bustling. There are voices everywhere. There are little Tilia children that are like running out along the pathway that you're walking, and just watching you. Their eyes just wide, unblinking. Other folks as well, adults kind of going about and just being like, who are these strangers? Who are these people that are joining us? And then also like, oh well, there's Sophie. Is that Soren? I thought he was dead. No, he was frozen. Is that what they said? Same thing, right? No, I don't know. So you're kind of like getting all those whispers along the way, but it isn't too long before you reach the apex of the plateau, the flattened point, and see, this kind of, I guess, treetop area, which has a little bit of foliage above, but some openings as well. So you're a little more protected from the rain than you would be in the exposed jungle. And there's, canopies that are actual like fabric canopies as well, to cover you. But it's pretty beautiful. It's colorful. And you can see that, again, there are a number of Tilia about, but in addition to them, there are Pexians, there are some of the red panda Mapak folk. And you also see some pangolin-like hedge. You see a lot of Cetas, whether they are like red parrot-like or toucan-like milling about, and then some raptor folk as well. A lot of the harpy eagle or even like Andean condor looking bird folk moving about. And everyone again seems like really on edge. It seems like a lot of the guards, at least, were the Tilia, were the tribe here, but there seem to be visitors in town, is what Soren is quickly picking up. As while there would be some of these folk, your area wasn't strictly just Tilia. That's like the council, the resident people, but you'll have visitors and merchants and everything else that come through. It seems like there's a few more that are kind of residing here, and you would recognize them from the other tribes in the area, the other tribes that represent the other aspects to you, whereas you represent the concept of rock and earth and sand and dirt and even metal at a certain point. Some of these other tribes represent the other elements, but you've never had like a ton of contact with them before. Nevertheless, that is where we find you all. It's quiet despite how many people are here. Like everyone is kind of just keeping to themselves. Every word that's said is hushed. Everything is whispered between people. It's like no one wants to break whatever spell is like over this place, or has the energy even to like give their location away. There's this heavy air of like fear and exhaustion, and that is where we find y'all. What would you like to do?
And look over to Soren. So where should we take this thing?
We should probably take it back to the elders. Where are they now, Sobe?
They're meeting with our elders are meeting with the other tribe's elders. They have been for quite some time. She points to one of the higher plateaus even. And you can see it kind of has this circular canopy over it. And as she points up, I mentioned like how quiet it is. You hear now, I think like it breaks through like a bell ring. You hear a shout like, "That's not what we're going to do!" And that just breaks through everything, and all the eyes kind of dart up to that, and then look right back down like, we didn't hear that. So things are going well, it seems.
We definitely need to take the shard up there. Yep, 100%. Okay.
Is that
Okay.
someone you recognize?
Do I recognize that voice? Is it somebody from our side saying that's not what we're gonna do?
Give me a history check.
Absolutely.
Lore, we love lore.
17.
I'm gonna say a 17 is enough that you recognize this voice, because this is an elder, so this is probably somebody who berated you as a child, and so that voice is like trauma locked in there. That like you were just doing something kids do, and this was a voice that was like, "Stop doing what kids do! How dare you! How dare you impede on what
I
an
was
adult was doing?"
playing with the rocks. It's literally what I'm supposed to do. It's fine. It's great.
This is the voice of Sasso, Saso. In fact, I will give you the names of the elders here. So we have. It'll take me a second to type all this out, but Sasso is the leader of the Pexian tribe that represent the aquamarine, the stone that symbolizes seas and storms, and the concept of water itself. And yeah, he's kind of a soggy dick.
Okay. Sasso's here. That's great. Okay. I think it's best if we take this to them now. And yes, I understand, Sobe, that we're not supposed to interrupt, but I think this is a pretty big enough thing to interrupt about. And I'm gonna start heading up to Le
Yeah.
Canopy.
Good luck.
Oh, you're coming with us.
I'm not allowed up there.
You're coming with us.
I'm gonna get in so much trouble.
You think I'm gonna get it on my own? No.
I'm waiting for you.
Come on.
That's like when you play hide and seek and like you get caught. You're like, I can't believe they found us, and you go over.
What?
You go over to someone else's hiding
Like
spot.
what? Like, now, how'd I get in it? Come on.
Okay. And then
As we're ascending these stairs, I'm just gonna reach out to Cal.
Mhm.
Is the feeling stronger or not as strong here?
It's pretty intense here, Clarence. I'm getting a lot of bummer vibes.
Okay. Is it coming from somewhere specifically, or is it just everywhere?
Again, it's kind of emanating from everywhere unless I could try to pinpoint.
Maybe let's wait just a little bit longer.
All right. But definitely more intense here. Like, not great. These people are not having a good time. And I know what it looks like when people don't have a good time.
Yeah.
I've been to parties.
Mochi?
Yeah.
Something sinister is going on here. Like not necromancer sinister, but like evil dread sinister.
Huh. But like Tilia v Tilia sinister, or outside influence trying to capture one of the stones by causing havoc internally sinister, or
Unclear, but maybe we should be wary of this council of elders?
I think you might be right. What would happen if we slap a zone of truth on them?
They might get upset.
They get a little upset, right?
Yeah.
But
But also,
they're already upset, right?
yeah, and also they shouldn't have anything to hide.
Right? You're elders. You're like representing your community. You need to be above board with everything.
Mhm.
Unless you're like representing like I don't know, a hath or something who's like
Maybe
trickery is
just-
like built in.
Maybe just clear it with Soren.
That could work. And think maybe if Argus does like most of the talking, you and I like keep an
Smooth?
eye out. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Soren,
Hmm?
how transparent would you say the elderly government system is? And by elderly, I mean the elders and not just old people. I feel like I need to clarify at this point. They're also old.
With us or with themselves? Or both?
Both.
They're as transparent as a cup of mud.
Ooh.
That's not good. So we were thinking when we go in and you talk to them and Sobe's like cowering and Argus is like backing you up with like a big mallet and just looking terrifying and holding the shard. Do you want like a zone of truth to help them be a little bit more forthcoming?
Would they know if you casted it?
Yeah, I'm going to go with yes, even though I would like the answer to be no.
Okay.
I would
Yes.
love the answer to be no.
I would love the answer to be no, but honestly, it's a yes.
Honestly, I would love for you to do that, but I don't think that that would go over well with them.
Okay. Then we just do like sort of like plan B and a half.
Plan B and a half.
Plan B and a half, which is plan A but different. So you and Sobi take point. Argus backs you up looking menacing as only Argus can with a big hammer. Betty also stays there and looks real menacing with her shiny new axe and go like, yeah, chop all your heads off. And Clarence and I just sort of are a little less publicly visible, and we're maybe seeing what's what.
Okay. Now, like I said, I know that they wouldn't be too happy with it.
They're already not happy.
Exactly. So if you just
What you're saying is don't get caught.
yes.
We will do our absolute best.
Okay. Because Sasso
Don't
is
be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Sasso may be full of hot water, but Eldora is not.
As in not hot or not full of water.
No, she's hot, but you will it's not a good time. Let's just say that.
None of them are a good time. Their world is slowly ending and they're bitching at each other.
Yeah, I've
Oh
just
no,
seen...
it's an allegory.
Help us! Help
Would
us,
you,
God!
can we please, didn't we like veil politics or something? No.
Real world politics. This world's ending because of natural cataclysms, that are also impacted by, the things that
Keep
people
going.
do, and
Keep going.
the governments in charge of them just aren't doing anything. They're just sitting around and arguing, and that's fantasy. Am I right?
Look, I have my green card here. I'm just saying tread lightly.
Fair enough.
I have my red card here just hanging around.
For no reason,
But yeah, so Sword is all for the shenanigans. It's just as we get closer, it's just like,
it's a plan.
I like the plan. Just don't get caught.
Plananigans.
We'll try. Cannot promise things that are uncertain in the future.
Raise half.
Uppies for half.
Oh God. And as we get closer, Shenana plans. I'm stealing that. I'm so sorry.
Banana plans.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
That's great, actually.
Yeah.
As we get closer, Sword is just like, oh God, they're still yelling. They're yelling more. Fuck. And opens the door.
Yeah. Go ahead, Mochi.
Just want to side-eye Clarence, who's being distracted by cats again. Your invisibility or mine, basically. You're muted somewhere else as well.
Oh no. What?
No, we can hear you. We can hear you.
No, you were just
I think it just
wheezing.
didn't pick up.
You were just wheezing.
I don't have the invisibility.
Squeeze me? It's all right. I have 6 kinds. You can have one of mine.
6 kinds.
Look, some of them are supernatural things instead of spells, which means I can use them when I can't use spells, which is why I collected different ways of going invisible, because I need sometimes to be invisible for reasons that we will not need to discuss here. Yep, I'll cast invisibility on, just before Soren opens the door, we just sort of, step around a corner, pretend, and just go.
Okay. Then you'll have to remind me of that next time. But
Yeah.
The doors open. You walk into a space that weirdly reminds you a lot of the High Council of the Avium. There's just something about circular spaces when it comes to, hey, we're all equal here, but you know. Um, and you see that not seated but standing around in, I mean, a five-pointed shape. This pentagon, not on purpose, I swear. You see five elders. What you see is Soren, the person that is most familiar to you, is Petros, very old Tilia, like, you know, alive before you were born, alive before your parents were born, just real old. But he is the one that has guided you to, you know, your ultimate goal of taking over his job potentially someday. And is the leader of, you know, the stone speakers for all of the other Tilia that tend to the great stones in the earth itself of Everden. You also see Eldora, the one that you mentioned is rather fiery, who is this bright colored harpy eagle. She is standing like hands on her hips, that she, like, as soon as you walk in, goes quickly to like crossed arms, closed body posture for sure. She is just scowling at everybody, this beaked face just shooting back and forth, and she has, there's a lot of intense energy coming off of her, although she is not saying anything at this point. You do see Azura, who is standing kind of the opposite corner from her, who, I'm sorry, I mixed up. Azura is the harpy eagle. Eldora is a toucan. So rather intense toucan is what I should have been describing, which feels funny but appropriate. So brightly colored orange beak on Eldora. Azura, on the other hand, being the harpy eagle, stands rather tall and rather actually calm. So closed body posture on the toucan, but very open body posture. In fact, she is the only one that, like, her back is kind of to you, but she turns all the way, and her hands are just kind of like a little bit out to her side a little bit. It's very open body posture. Um, as you walk in, there's a Pexian, little axolotl man, who is just has a webbed finger that is pointed right at Petros, and just, you know, the kind of external gills on the outside. He's this kind of dark bluish color, and he also is scowling pretty intensely and looks towards all of you as you come in. And lastly, you see Bosch, who is a pangolin hedge, who's just kind of clicking his big claws together, and is standing resolutely but silently. And as you walk into this circular space, these open windows on all sides, which is also how you were able to hear when Sasso was yelling. It's a pretty otherwise Spartan room. You see a small table where there's, like, you know, a little bit of water in a pitcher to drink, but no chairs, no tables, no paperwork. I think that's what sets this apart more than anything else from the Alderheart Council. And as you walk in, and Petros's eyes catch Soren, see a smile just kind of goes across his gecko Tilia face. His tail kind of flicks slightly. But Sasso turns his little web finger to all of you. Now, who the hell are all of you?
Sasso, excuse me, Elder Sasso. I'm sorry. I am Soren. You used to yell at me for talking to the rocks when I was a kid. I I had a job to go and find a missing shard, and I took a little bit longer, but I brought it back. And I figured it would be very important for you all to know that while you're having this very important meeting, and just stop yelling.
Sasso, just like, he's fuming. He's like, stop yelling. Now, who? And Petrus just puts out a hand and he goes, now, see, Sasso, I told you that they'd be back. So, we need you to do something rather important.
More important than bringing the rock, the shard?
Well, that was part of it, but I'm not sure you're going to make it back from this one. And he just smiles. And that is where we're going to end our session today.
Excuse me? Papa Petros, what? No.
Papa Petros, no!
What?
How could?
How dare?
Thank you all so much for joining us for another session of Humblewood Yonderbound. Probably not the last season of Humblewood, if I'm being honest with myself. I know myself better than that. But this is the second season of Humblewood, and I am joined as always by this very lovely cast. I will have them say more about themselves and where you can find more of them. I highly recommend you do support the things they make, buy the things that they make, repost the stuff that they post, cast them in your games, all that kind of stuff. Once we do that, I'll do some channel stuff, and then we'll wrap up for the day. So let's go ahead and go around. Shadow, where can we find more of your lovely self?
Hi, everybody. Yes, I am Shadow Sylvia. I mean, you can find me everywhere relevant at Shadow Sylvia. This is going well. I use she, her pronouns. I've been playing Clarence, who uses they, he pronouns. Yeah, you can, besides seeing me here on Humblewood, I'm here on Tuesdays. We play Baldur's Gate 3 on Gate Night. I'm joined with the lovely Derek and the also equally lovely Lady Dame. And we definitely don't try to smooch our way through Faerun. That's definitely not what's happening there. Yeah, join us for part 3 of our Daddy episodes coming up this Tuesday. If you know, you know. Otherwise, I'm an admin over on Roll-D5. We specialize in playing indie TTRPGs. March is our punk month. Last week we just had Cyberpunk, and this week we're playing Glam Slut Butch, I believe is what the game is called. So join us for that, because that's gonna be a great time. We have a fantastic cast for that. It's punk month. We are throwing all the rules out the window. Yeah, otherwise keep an eye on the socials for everything else that's coming up.
Fantastic. Thank you, Shadow. Next up, we would typically have Liz. I'm going to say that Liz is a TTRPG creator. You can find all of her stuff on her itch. Yeah, a lot of her stuff are solo TTRPGs, journaling TTRPGs, some really cool concept stuff that's really interesting if you are a storyteller that has scheduling issues or really wants some writing prompts for cool stuff, you know, to kind of inspire you for additional game making or storytelling. Please check out all of her wonderful things. It's all incredibly affordable as well. So yeah. And then otherwise, I believe on socials, it's EM Giacia on Blue Sky, I think is the main one she's using these days. Next up, we have Queon.
Hello, hi, I am Queon. I go by Brother Queon across all of the internets, and I use they, he pronouns. I played Soren today, and I was not expecting to run into the entire council of people who basically raised me today, but great, it's fine, it's lovely. But yeah, if you enjoyed what I do here, you can find me across all of the social medias. And I have one thing that I'm like super excited about, actually 2 things that I'm super excited about. World Replica, my GM debut, our finale is this week. So I'm very excited to see how that goes. The reception for it has been lovely, and I'm glad you guys are enjoying the story. I've been shocked because it is just me torturing my friends, and it's great. So yeah, that drops this Friday over on Batty Bards, and I'm super excited to see that. Second, my birthday is Thursday. So seeing that I was pushing back a whole lot of things because real life is real lifing, the Plot Armory is going to launch on my birthday. So it's like, it's a little birthday present to me, and it's so cute. It's just going to be really nice, and I'm like very happy because this has been a labor of love, and I get to do something that I am very proud of and give something back to the world. So yeah, again, as everybody knows, I've been saying this spiel. You're the main character in your story. You deserve to dress like it. So everybody deserves a little bit of plot armor. Other than that, you can catch me on Help Action Needed on Wednesday for a test run of Warped FM with the game creator, which I'm very excited about. And you can catch me on Charm Party on Friday, where I get to have some tea and sabotage a friend's business with Gloria. And I am very excited. It's me.
That sounds amazing. Massive congratulations about Plot Army and happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
I'm old.
I don't want to hear it.
I think I'm older.
I think we've got a few. Next up we have Anniek.
Hi, my name is Anniek. I go by she, their pronouns, and I'm usually here on Sundays. And when I'm not playing Mochi, I get to torture my friends. Hey, it's a theme. I usually run horror TTRPGs. Sometimes I try cute things, and then people assume I'm running a sneaky horror TTRPG, and they make it gross anyway, and I love it. After Humblewood, Season 2, which is eventually going to wrap up at some point, I get to run a game of Tales of Bloop, which is like 80s... not like horror, but more like 80s creepy shit. And then after that, we're doing Mothership, which is space and is definitely horror. There's a reason character creation takes 5 minutes because it's a meat grinder, and I'm also looking forward to that one a lot. And then the rest of the year, there's more plans, but then I'm gonna need people to play with. So keep an eye out on the Sword and Key socials because we will be doing casting calls. And if you want to be tortured either in a fantasy setting or a space setting, consensually and safely, keep an eye out. The first call out goes on Discord and then other socials.
Amazing. Absolutely. Thank you, Anniek. Last, absolutely not least, Christian.
Hey everybody, hi, my name is Christian, aka Fluffy Goomba, all over the internets. I'm an award-winning TTRPG performer, educator, and event coordinator here in the space. You can check me out later tonight on Total Party Kiss for a Tragic Theologian, Greek myth-inspired 5e campaign. We are currently in Hades trying to get to the man himself. We just recently learned that my Echo Knight, his Echo, is from a world where instead of the gods winning the Titanomachy, which is the big war between the Titans and gods, instead of the gods winning that, the Titans won that one. And so we just learned that. It was a big revelation. It's very cool. And I'm going to shout out some other projects. This past Thursday was the final episode of Darkness Over New Orleans, which is my Vampire the Masquerade game. It just ended after 3 seasons. So you can go check out the VODs for that. It's for Roll for Dylan, ROLL 4 DYLAN. And you can always check me out on Chaos Theory on Mondays, because it's released on Mondays on Mr. Shika Dance's channel. That is a What If Law and Order was in D&D. It's very cool. I am a ghost detective. I talk to ghosts. And that's all the projects I'm in right now.
I love all of that. I love Law and Order in D&D. We don't have enough rules lawyers. I really love a concept of the Titanomachy having an alternate ending. That's a really cool. That's a really cool idea. Thank you as always to these wonderful people. Again, please cast them in your games. Please watch the games that they are in. Please buy the things that they make and at least follow them on social media if that's something that they want. I am Derek Sword, he, him pronouns. I have been your GM for this game. I am the sword half of Sword and Key. Before I get to all of Sword and Key stuff, I do want to shout out Kaila for running our tech today. She's been absolutely amazing. And Mikyl Sandoval for doing our artwork. Special thank you, as always, for all the artwork that he does. So you can check him out on Instagram primarily at MIKYL SANDOVAL. It's Michael, not the way you think, and then Sandoval. And we also have a dedicated channel on our Discord where you can check out his artwork. And speaking of our Discord, you can find all of our links, including a link to join our Discord, on beacons.ai/swordandkey. You can see our socials. We're mostly using Instagram and Blue Sky these days. We're not doing Twitter. It's still there, but we're not doing anything with it. You can see our what do I want to say? You can again join our Discord. You can see our affiliates. We are an affiliate with Long Dog Dice, fantastic dice company. I know she's restocking her shop right now, but there is always a link where you can get a custom dice set. It doesn't necessarily cost more. Especially if you see something that's sold out, just be like, hey, can I have this again? The wonderful thing about Jen is, and she told me this herself, she's a former chemist who writes down, has a notebook of every single dice set she's ever made, and the pressure numbers and the temperature, and logs everything because it's so ingrained in her. So recreating dice sets is a very doable thing for her. So if you were looking for the perfect dice set in your life, please check out Long Dog Dice, and you can use our code for 10% off. The code is on our beacons, but I believe it is just Sword and Key. And if you click the link on our beacons, I think it autofills for you. Speaking of other discounts, we have a 10% off discount for Wishbone Cosmetics. It is a UK-based, queer-owned vegan cosmetic brand for like your best fantasy or vampire or like, you know, whatever character you have. They probably have a makeup palette to fit to it, and you can use our code EVA, all caps, for 10% off that. We also have a discount code for Eldritch Foundry for 10% off your first purchase. Eldritch Foundry, custom mini company where you can make however weird your TTRPG character is, you can make a custom mini of that character with really cool bases, unique items, really cool design. It's a pretty great UI as well, so check it out. And then we are, of course, affiliates with Hit Point Press, the makers of Humblewood itself. And some of our items today came from Griffin Saddlebag 2. Which is an absolutely fantastic book. Has some really great stuff in it. I'm going to open a random page. It's not random because there's a bookmark. Never mind, we're going to do another random page. I'm seeing a Ring of Misdirection, which is pretty great. Also a Ring of Rituals. Oh, it's just the ring page. There's so many rings. Ring of Volleys. That's great. There's character stuff in here as well. If you're looking for some new classes, there's adventure stuff. It's a very fleshed out book. So highly recommend checking out this, as well as, of course, Humblewood itself. And if you're looking to expand your Humblewood game, there's Humblewood Tales also down here. I'm not going to pick that one up. And then there's even more Humblewood stuff on the way. There's Humblewood Beyond the Canopy, which is currently I think it's close to being on Kickstarter. But if you use our custom link, you can get all of that stuff, help us out, help yourself out, and maybe you can get a discount out of it. So check all of that out. You can also on our beacons see our ongoing charities. I'm just going to use that word. PCRF, Palestinian Children's Relief Fund, Canadian Campaigners for Independence, and of course what we are supporting here, Fallen and Flora International. And you can see links to, also in the beacons, links to our podcast, Monster Crush. It's a podcast that I record with my friend LD, and we talk about cryptids, creatures, and miscellaneous monsters from myth. It's a monster podcast, and it's a romance podcast. It's both. And it can also be either, depending on what you want, because we're both affirming about love and where you can find it, and also finding beauty in the horrifying. And then we also talk a lot about monsters and where they come from. So it's a little bit of everything. It's niche, but also not. Looking at our calendar for Sword and Key, we have some things coming up. Let's see. Today's the last day of Emerald City Comic Con. I apologize that we're not there. For those of you that are, I hope you're having a great time. We were there on Friday, met some fantastic folks. Some folks who actually like knew who we were, which was weird. Looking at this week, though, Tuesday, as Shadow mentioned, 7 p.m. Pacific time is Gate Night. It's where Shadow, LD, and I play Baldur's Gate 3. We are smooching our way through the Forgotten Realms. I don't care what Shadow says. On Saturday, Horizon's Call is back at 3 p.m. Pacific time, and we'll be back for the foreseeable future for Season 5. We just started Season 5 yesterday, and we are being joined by the very lovely Jen from Long Dog Dice for the next 2 to 3 episodes. On Sundays, we play Humblewood. Humblewood Yonderbound is 10 a.m. Pacific time, same time, same place. And then we have movie nights as well that are on our Discord. Our next movie night is coming up on the 21st. We do every other week. Just recently we did The Lighthouse, but we do a monthly Ghibli watch. So that is going to be Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind, the 1984 Ghibli movie. So that's good. I've not seen that one. I'm doing it because I never really watched a lot of Ghibli movies. But yeah, we'll do that on the 21st. And then other than that, that's it for now. But as Anniek mentioned, we're going to have some applications out soon for games. We're going to have some more Sword and Teas coming up as well. We just had one to talk about the Dating the Devil tarot game, The Devil's Lounge, yesterday, which was very, very cool. From Corazon Interactive was the company. We're likely going to have a Sword and Tea coming up soon for Cursed Captains of Cthulhu, and once we have that, that's when I'll put out the application for a Cursed Captains of Cthulhu actual game for us to feature. I also got some Mice of Legend stuff in the mail, so I'll be looking to do some stuff with that. We also had a Sword and Tea with Paul who was the maker of Mice of Legend. So if you're, and also to all of you, if you are a game creator and you have made something you'd like to talk about, reach out to us. We would love to have a Sword and Tea chat with lots of people from the TTRPG community. I actually, just to name drop real quick, because I think this is really cool. If you're familiar with the artist Crystal Sully, fantastic artist, does like some of the best dragons I've ever seen, has made magic cards and has like monsters in the new monster manual, monsters in the old monster manual, I'm pretty sure. But met her at Emerald City Comic Con, recognized who we were, and I think is going to be down to be on a Sword and Tea. I'm going to manifest that. She said she was interested, so we're gonna go from that. But I think it was really cool meeting her. So yeah, lots of stuff coming soon. We're always going to post our applications to our Discord first, and then the next day we post it to socials, so you're not like really missing out, but you do get kind of first dibs if you are part of the Discord. So it's a cool place. You can hang out with cool people, talk about cool games like this one that we played. I think that's it for us. I think that's it for Sword and Key and for Humblewood Yonderbound for this week. Again, thank you so much for spending some time with us. We will see you next Sunday, if not sooner. Until that time, take care of yourselves, take care of others, and as always, remember the Humblewood motto is no body, no crime, no drama. Thank you.